Thank you for showing up, guys. It's a very late stream day, I know, and I don't like streaming this late. I generally don't, but the streams this week are going to just be kind of late because of the construction. I finally gave in to the scheduling woes and decided that I will just stream late. And you guys just have to cope with it. The VODs go up as always, so if you really miss things, you just have to live with that. But hello everyone, welcome in, welcome Aki, welcome Shale. Everyone meet Shale, she's a cool goth skeleton I've recently gotten to chatting with, and we love her. Actually, hang on. She shouted me out in her stream. I can do the same thing to her, even though she's not streaming. I also wasn't streaming, so you know, I can attack her back. We can commit violence on the Shale, because she did the same to me. But hello everyone. I've been working on... I know that streams have been really irregular. I know, I'm really rude. I have no manners, Shale, I know. She's very cute. I like her a lot. She's been introducing me to the world of Digimon. She's gotten me excited for the idea of playing Digimon Survive because she says it's really spooky and upsetting. And I'm like, those are my favorite things. Spooky and upsetting, traumatic even. I love that. So in the future, we might be able to play, I might be playing that one. I want to play the upsetting Digimons because I know that some of them, I know that Digimon can be like very upsetting in comparison to Pokemon. And as much as Pokemon has like the spooky background noise, it doesn't really go into it as much as it could, and I am learning that Digimon does go into it quite a bit, really. Digimon actually has a lot of fun with the upsetting things. She told me a story about a particular quest, and I was like, they could have gone worse, but I still love how bad they went. I was like, wow, that sounds really cool. So I have added Digimon Survive to my wish list. And if she... I will ask her for further Digimon recommendations if that really hits. It is a bit pricey, so we will be waiting for a sale. And we do have like a backlog of games to get through right now. By God, I've got so many games started. But it is nice to be back. I have missed streaming so much. Good news, the construction is almost done. They are, apparently they're literally almost done. They just need to come back one day to do the tidy up, like just make things a bit more secure and tidy with little bits and pieces, and then it'll be actually done. Oh my God. Mum was having a chat with them about like the progress before they were leaving the site today, and they tried to upsell her on a bunch of stuff, and she just did not give them any leeway because it has just been so terrible. The goal of them to upsell on her after all this bullshit is insane. You be lurking, but you love me so much. Oh, I love you too, Wolfie. Kisses. Mwah, mwah. I'm excited at the prospect that it will be over soon. Oh my gosh. Hang on. Are my commands? No, that was the wrong. That's not how it looks. That's the one. Hi Alex. How are you? But yes, for those who miss out on streams, we do have a VODs channel, so don't worry if my schedule has been so weird that you have missed something. There are VODs. I do still need to put the subathon VODs up, but we did get the thumbnail done today, so we'll try and get those put up tomorrow. I did almost say Greg, but no one will understand what I mean if I call you Greg. I do really want to call you Greg though. I have a sibling called Alex, and it's really weird, I'm not gonna lie. That's why it's easier for me to think of you as Greg, because it's kind of odd for me. But there's a lot of Alexes in the world, aren't there? There's a lot of them. Why? Why are there so many? We'll never know. We'll never know. There's too many. We need less of them. Alex, you should change your name to Greg. Like, actually, so we have less of you. And make it easier for me. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. But yes, hi everyone. Hi Tushy. Hi Wolfie. Hi Alex, or rather Greg. He is accepted. that I'm calling him Greg now. And Shale and Aki and everyone. It's lovely to see so many of you all, and I see a few people, lovely people lurking as well, which I appreciate. I see you all lovely lurkers, and I do love you, and I appreciate you. You don't have to chat to be loved here. Just come back to say hello, good night, passing out. Great rest of stream, Stella. Hi, Sebi. Oh, it's nice to see you. I hope you rest well. It's nice to see you, though. It is always good to see a familiar face in the Scylla space. But yes, it has been very chaotic in the Scylla zone, but we have had some behind the scenes things going on. I am going to be starting my singing lessons next week. I'm very excited about this. They asked me, I sort of like told them what I want to do, and they said, bring the song in that you want to cover, and we'll use that as our goal, and we'll like work on that through it. And I was like, that's actually incredible that I didn't have to like explain my deal more than that. So I'm going to be trying to track down like a lyric sheet and like the musical notes and things, the meters. And I will try and save the video of the song as well, just so I've got all the material. I don't want to tell you guys what it is because I want to keep it exciting, but it is lore relevant. I want to do a lot of the songs that will be like lore relevant or like very similar character vibes to myself, you know? I want it to click with the Priscilla character, you know? Poker face, because she's an excessive gambler. I am not. Lies and slander. Teehee. That would be crazy though, covering Lady Gaga. Could you imagine? God. You can't just sing, how much do I gacha? I don't wail though. I never spend money on gacha, so I'm not that bad. I just suffer. I never spend money on gacha. I'm better than other people. I just suffer and grind endlessly. But yes, today we are playing another yeah, I'm better than you, obviously. You spent money on horse skills, and did it pan out? It never works when you spend money, is the thing. Like, I have learnt this through my extensive career of growing up surrounded by yeah, it didn't work, did it? No, I didn't think it would. As I grew up when like gacha was becoming a thing and evolving, and I was very exposed to it, you learn over a long period of time that thing, when you spend money on it, you never get what you want. It's just a money hole, a money sink. But today, yes, we are playing the Yaoi visual novel. Woohoo! What else? Exactly, Shell. You spent enough money on gacha to know you should never spend money on gacha. Exactly. Exactly. You get it, girl. You fucking get it. What else? I am still working on the opening the fansly for my not safe for work games that I want to play. That is a real thing that I want to do. And I really need to open the Patreon, so when I do put edited gameplay up. Actually, I need to think about that a bit more, because I was like, initially I thought to myself, if I put the unedited horny stuff up on the Patreon and I put the edited stuff on the YouTube, then you'd have to pay money to see the horny. Like you would only see like the safe for work stuff on YouTube, and if you wanted to see the like naughty scenes, you'd have to go to Patreon and give me money. But if I'm doing that on Fansly, actually, I could do like the games that are only horny on Fansly. That makes sense. I have lots in my brain. We're getting sidetracked. I apologize. We're here for yaoi, aren't we, folks? That's what we're really here for at the end of the day. We're here for yaoi. And I really don't think that little goth boy is straight anymore, no matter how much he loves the MILFs and their big fat bazongas. Because he did make out with a guy. He was drunk, but it still counts, guys. Here's the thing. People who are actually... Yeah, she does have big bahooby boobies. The bazungas, the awoogas. Here's the thing, guys. If you, like, make out with someone when you're drunk, there is, like, a feeling that that is something you want to do. Like, it's not super... Like, the consensuality on it is iffy, obviously. But at the same time, it's kind of like you... Part of yourself wanted to know what that would be like. A part of yourself was like, it might be really nice to make out with a guy. Or a girl, you know? And I think people don't talk about that. Take note, all cheaters, if you do it... No! That's not what I'm saying, you little slut. Greg. Greg is telling evil lessons in my chat room. I'm gonna kill him. Someone who's looking, can you put this in the Google Doc? I didn't say it was an excuse. I'm just saying that it releases some of your inhibitions that society may have implanted on you. So if you like have this idea that say you're a little... Yeah, I'm gonna get Heka on you. Then it'll really be over. Heka, the queen of writing Google Docs. Oh, she's so cool. We love Heka. Shout out Heka. Actually don't. I don't know how she'd feel about that. She might feel uncomfortable about that. But yeah. We're here to talk to the hot boy who kissed us last night. While drunk. Yes, thank you, Shale. You understand. I'm not saying it's consensual. I'm still saying the consensuality is iffy. I'm still saying it's a bit messy. But, like, there's something in your brain that you need to analyze if you want to make out with guys and you're a guy when you are drunk. There's something going on there. You know? You get what I'm coming from. You get me, Shale. Me and you, girl. Let's see how this game continues. You've done that plenty of times? Oh, I know you have, sir. That's just so Greggy coded. You would do that. Oh. Hi, Hayes! Welcome in. You've just arrived just in time for the yaoi to start. Welcome in. For people who haven't been here for a while, I do have a VODs channel if you want to catch up on past streams. We're a similar wavelength of crazy. We can be crazy and awesome, Shale. They're not mutually exclusive. Don't worry about that, babe. I apologize that my headpats isn't working, by the way. My mix-up is a bit broken. I think I need to recode those. Yes, yowie. My last visual novel was very Yuri, and it went on for a while, so we're doing yaoi this time. We will do Yuri again next time. I might end up doing a big Yuri smash, big Yuri extravaganza time, because I don't know if you've heard, gang. I don't know if you've heard, but the Toxic Yuri Jam just ended. The Toxic Yuri Jam, you know the one. The Toxic Yuri Jam, the Yuri Jam which is toxic. And a lot of cool games have just come out, so we might need to get into those. But we have so much to finish already, it's ridiculous. Why are there so many video games, guys? Why did they do that to us? Anyway. So how was last night? Iris smiles as she observes me from the opposite side of the table. Her fingers curled around her for teacup. You've had enough of Toxic Yuri after the last Ven? Coward! I haven't. I need more. Iris's newspaper is lying on one side, but she is not paying her crossword any attention. You are a coward? I'm glad you realize it. That's the first step of becoming better, is realization. Her roomy eyes are focused instead on me. Oh, it was fine. Look at his little blushy face. She deserved better? Yeah, and that's part of the beauty of the story, is that she did deserve better, and it was fucked up. For those who are curious about what Tushy's talking about, this is the VN that we just finished recently called Salam's Kiss. The VODs are up on my channel, hint hint nudge nudge. Waiting for the revenge arc? Well, the developer of that game actually made a game for the Toxic Yuri Jam, which is a bunch of lesbians being mean to you. and like wanting to kill you, which is really fun. Wrong one, baby. It's VODs. If you want to, you know, look at some toxic Yuri for your goodness of heart, for your soul. Honestly, not interested in yaoi, but I enjoy you enjoying gay shit. Yaoi for me has to be so particular. The good thing about this yaoi is that the writer who makes it is someone like I'm a mega fan of. Like, she has made so many different visual novels, yuri, yaoi, even straight stuff, my goodness. And even some stuff without romance. She's crazy like that. I'm just a mega fan of hers, so when I was like, I should read some yaoi as well for chat, give them like some balance, I was like, I should read something of hers so I can have fun too. I know, Tusha, you're a big yaoi fan, and I appreciate that. We all have our preferences. I just am very much a yuri girly. I replied to Iris's query somewhat vaguely. For some reason, I cannot bring myself to look in her eye, all while examining my interwoven fingers. I have had an energy drink because I was getting a bit eepy because it's late for me, so you can probably tell that I'm a bit of a live wire. The bar was quite crowded and the music was rather loud, but it was an amusing diversion, I suppose. I hope it wasn't too overwhelming. It was certainly an experience. Yaoi is also in your veins, Hayes? I'm glad to hear that. I hope you have a good time with this yaoi. I cannot say I cared overly much for the music they were playing, though. It was not very melodic. Melodic? Melodic? I never know how to say that word. Feels funny to say. Melodic. Melodic. That feels wrong, but it's probably the best I can get. Probably is right, the way I'm saying it, but it sounded more like noise to me than anything. Can't wait for you guys to see the cute little goth boy. Especially you, Hayes. I know you like him. We love a cute little goth boy that is stuck in a tiny small town in the middle of the UK with nothing else to do but watch his parents' corner shop and think about the other random young man in the town, you know? Haha, well, I can seriously relate to that. That is rather how I feel about most of the strange singers that Marty likes so much. They all sound so angry. Iris chuckles and shakes her head. Well, so long as you didn't have a completely miserable time, that's all that matters. You didn't meet any nice women, did you? There was one woman who kept trying to talk to me, but she was a bit aggressive. Like Hortense, you mean? She was a bit like her, yes, but she was younger. I think she was probably a bit too young to be at that pub. Made me feel a bit uncomfortable. That's probably for the best if she was as young as all that. It's good to have scruples. I like the word scruples, it's a good word. It's like morals, but more fun. Well, quite. She didn't seem to have many scruples, though. She kept pushing her chest against my arm. If Abel hadn't been there to peel her off me, I'm not sure what I would have done. It's a good thing he was there then. Sounds like he was keeping quite a close eye on you. Did he take care of you? Don't worry, guys. The grandma likes gay people. She's a big fan of gay people. Oh god, a cat just walked in. She wants attention. Hang on, chat. I thought you wanted attention. Come on. Oh. Hina is a talker and she likes attention, so I made the really genius decision when we bought this house to get a cat door put in my door so that when I'm streaming she can come and visit because she likes to sleep in here. I make my room very cozy. But this also means she has access to me and she can yell at me whenever she wants. So it's a win-win, sort of an interesting situation I'm in. It does mean I get to have privacy and still let her have access to the room, which is nice. In a way, I suppose, until he drank too much. Then I had to take care of him. Well, boys will be boys. That's about what I'd expect from a night out, though I suppose you thought you might have drunk a little yourself. I couldn't. I had to drive us both back. Yes, of course. It's good to know you're so sensible, Edmund dear. Frank's old Honda is in good hands. I don't have to worry about you crashing it into any trees, at least. You said that as though it has happened before. Oh, my Andrew was a horribly reckless driver back in the day. He had quite a few near misses with tractors on these old country roads when he was still learning. Though I suppose it's neither here nor there. You're much more responsible than he is. You did have a chance to relax a little though, didn't you? I think so, yes. I rather enjoyed being with Abel, if nothing else. Yes, the drunk goth boy launched himself at us. He did have a bit of puke mouth, so it's good it was a closed mouth kiss, I have to say. Still not great, but you know, better than it could have been, you know? Though I am unsure just how much I enjoyed the kiss that we shared. I still do not know what to make of it. Well, good, I'm glad. It sounds like Abel is quite the character. I'm pleased that he's taking such a shine to you, actually. Can't have been much fun in Fen Chapel this last year on your own. I've always thought that you could use a friend. A friend, hmm? I looked down at my reflection. In my teacup, distorted inside the wavering, dun brown tea, and exhale. I suppose that is all Abel is then. I have been sorry, chat. I've been struggling with my mic getting in the way of my camera. Making me do funny eye movements. Oh! The jittering woman. I suppose that is all Abel is then. He is nothing more than a friend. Oh, I really need to fix this setup. I'm sorry for doing this midstream, chat. It's a bit rude. What else would he be? What else do I want him to be? I have no idea. I spent the rest of the morning valiantly trying to avoid thinking about Abel. I prepared breakfast for Iris and myself, then cleaned the counters and washed the dishes. When the task is completed, I then help Iris with her daily crossword puzzle before stepping out into the garden. I engage myself with the vegetable garden, which was once Frank's pride and joy. Hang on, chat, we're going to get a bit silly with the webcam for a minute. Oh. We're getting a bit silly with the web camera. We're changing it completely. This is a bit better. Apologies, chat. Bit of a scuffle there, wasn't it? I'm just glad my model didn't jump around too much. That would have been a disaster. I busy myself with watering the leeks and potatoes, The parsnips and the Swedes. Oh, that reminds me. My brother's birthday was recent. Happy birthday, little brother. And Mum made a big lunch to celebrate, and we had roast potatoes and kumara, and she tried making roast Swede for the first time, and I don't think she didn't cook it properly, because apparently you need to cook it for longer, so it was a bit hard. But everything else was nice. We also had like this really nice pork. A pork roast with crackling and everything. So yummy. And checking the leaves of the lettuces and the tomatoes for any interference from insects. I straightened some of the more sickly looking tomato plants so they don't list to one side. The sunlight which dapples the top of my head feels soothing. It is all very pleasant. Yes, I think allowing myself a small smile, this is pleasant. I am contented. Right now, it is just me and nature. Me and the tomatoes, the potatoes, the fertilizer, and... Hey, Eddie! You look like you're hard at work for a Sunday. I'm not interrupting anything, am I? I jump, surprise, then drop a bag of fertilizer on my right foot. Oh no, those are heavy. The bag is sealed, thankfully, so fertilizer does not spill everywhere, but that is a cold comfort. That hurts. I suppose I cannot catch a break. Here's our little goth boy. Hi, Omni. You missed me battling my webcam for a minute. It was horrific. Yeah, it's our little goth twink. The guy who drunkenly smooched our big tall blonde. It was literally just last night. In game. So, you know, interesting. I wonder if he remembers. He probably does. Abel? I have half a mind to scold Abel. What is he doing here and how did he get here? But the sight of him makes me pause. Thank you for the subscription, Omni. I really appreciate it. Greeting. Yes, may my splendor reign eternal. Yes, yes. Abel does not look at all well. Oh no! Hungover? His hair is badly ruffled, as though it has not seen a comb in months, and his skin is alarmingly sallow. He looks so very dishevelled, he might very well have been dragged through a hedge backwards, and I mean that literally. There are leaves and twigs in his hair. Oh no! Poor lad. What happened to him? Well, I already know the answer to that question. This much is readily apparent based on what occurred between us the night prior. I have a very good giggle. This is true, Omni. I'm glad you enjoy it. I have an amazing giggle. He drank too much. He must be hungover. My sympathy for him should be limited. I rather think that he is the architect of his own misery, but I pity him regardless. That does not stop me from wondering how he came to be here, however. Oh, Omni, they kissed last night. While the little goth boy was drunk, he kissed the other guy because he was like, why are you being so nice to me? This must be the only reason why you're being nice to me. So now they're dealing with the complicated feelings, and also the goth one is hungover. It's a lot. It's very fun, and it's a lot. That does not stop me from wondering how he came to be, however, in Iris's garden, or about the twigs in his hair. Did he really crawl through one of the hedges? How exactly did you get in here? I hopped one of the fences. You did? Oh yeah, I used to all the time back when I was a kid. I came here to play a lot when I was a brat, me and a couple of my friends. So breaking and entering is a regular offence for you, is it? Wasn't all that regular. We only came here in the summer. And sometimes in autumn, when there were conkers. And sometimes in the spring, when there was frog spawn in the big lake over there. So he only infiltrated Iris's garden 3 seasons out of 4 during his youth. Yeah, not that regular. Pretty average, really. I do not have a head for mathematics, but he is doing nothing to aid his case. Oh! Phone alarm. Whoops. And besides, we never did anything bad. We just played hide and seek and tag, and sometimes we climbed trees. We didn't steal anything. We were only kids. And did you trespassing ways not get you in trouble? Sometimes, yeah. We try to be sneaky about it, but Frank could sometimes catch us if he was in the middle of gardening. He was pretty good about it, actually. He never shouted at us, but he did tell my mum what I'd done once, and the less said about that, the better. I presume she was as thrilled as I am about your misconduct. Oh yeah, she was pissed. She pulled out all the classics too, like, I didn't raise you to act like this. Do you never think about anybody other than yourself? Etc, etc. I didn't come back here for donkeys after that. It's been at least a decade. I thought Frank might have fixed the old fence round back since then, but I guess not. Getting in here was just as easy as I remember it. Is part of the fence broken? Abel nods. It's been like that for a while. The fence fell down during a storm ages ago, and I guess Frank never got around to replacing it. The grass down there is all tall and uneven, you have to wade through some hedges. So Abel did tramp through a hedge to see me. That explains the leaves in his hair. But it ain't that bad. I only got scratched up a little. I pursed my lips together. I can forgive you for sneaking in here as a small child, but you really shouldn't be doing that as an adult. You ought to know better. As trespassing, it is illegal. I know that, but have a heart, Eddie. You're not about to report me to the police, are you? Well, no, I would not do anything that drastic, but then it should be fine. It's not like I'm a stranger. Don't I get privileges? What privileges? Friendship privileges, maybe. I reckon I deserve them. Besides, it's not like I had any impure motives. I just wanted to talk to you. To me? Duh. Who else? Iris Lennox is a lovely old lady, even if she is a bit loony, but I wouldn't go to all this effort to see her. I take issue with you calling Iris loony. She is perfectly sound of mind, thank you very much. And if you wanted to see me so very badly, why did you not call me first? I gave you my number already. I know you did, and I did try. I must have called you like 4 times. No impure motives while blushing like that wasn't convincing. Yeah, I know, right? He still hasn't figured out he's not straight. You gotta be a bit nice to the poor lad. You did? I did. I sent you texts too, but you didn't reply to any of them. I figured you were ignoring me, but now I'm starting to wonder. Did you even see any of my texts? Oh, no. I've been rather busy in the garden this morning. I must have left my phone inside. Well, that figures. I'm surprised you even know how to use a phone with the ye-old way you talk. I know I said you were like my grandfather, but I think you might be even worse than he is. You had said yes. You do not need to harp on about it. I presume you did not come all the way here, braving both fences and hedges, so you could lecture me. Abel laughs weakly and runs a hand through his hair. I guess you've got me there. There was something I want to talk to you about actually, but it's kind of a biggie. I was going to hash it out of a text, but I thought that'd be kind of impersonal. Not that it mattered since you never replied to me. I never replied because I never saw your messages, as has already been established. I was not ignoring you on purpose. That would be unchivalrous. What a gentleman you are. I'm glad that's not changed after all the shit I pulled last night. But do you really not mind that I came here? There is something that I'd like to talk about, but I can always leave if it had been in position. I don't want to get in your way. Abel. I look at Abel for a few moments, my expression impassive. He really does look rough. His skin is paler than gone off milk, and though I presume he has not had anything stronger to drink than water since awaking this morning, he is still shaking. That is rather strange, given it is quite a warm day. His trembles cannot be caused by the weather. He must be anxious. But why? did not do something to upset him, did I? No, it is fine. Would seem a waste to send you back home when you already came here. Especially when you have some business with me. And you don't mind talking to me? I think we might have to have a talk. Now, what is it you came here to discuss? Well, about that... Abel pauses. He scratches his cheek with his index finger, looking rather perturbed before he begins to speak. I got so wasted last night I don't remember very much of it. I'm not sure what we talked about or what we did. Ah, so it seems unlikely then that he remembers our kiss. Darn it, guys! We fucking failed. He doesn't remember. The twink doesn't remember. Oh, unless he's covering it up because Edmund isn't making a big fuss about it because he thinks Edmund might not have remembered, so he's like, why bring it up? People do that. I suspected as much, but hearing him confirm it, that still stings. But I do know that you looked after me. My mum told me about it this morning. She said that you drove me back home and you saw me to the door. Oh, can't recall any of that, which might be for the best. It sounds super embarrassing. Yeah, no, it sounds like he might be shy, just doesn't want to admit it. He might also be scared. He comes, like, from what we have heard from previously about his old school friends, they were like aggressively heterosexual. Like in the weird ways that heterosexual people can be weird about being heterosexual, you know? So it might be actually like scary for him to say anything. From what I can gather, however, you were pretty... Oh no, really nice to me. Yeah, it is. The person, our lovely writer, Ebi Jimenez, bases all of her stories in, well, almost all of her stories in the UK. And she isn't shy about bringing up like the sort of cultural issues surrounding people growing up in there. And this is definitely reflective in this game. You were nicer to me than I bet I deserved, really, given I must have made a colossal tit out of myself. Thought things through this morning, though it was a bit rough since I had the worst headache imaginable, and I figured I should see you, to thank you. Oh, he's so cute. You've been really good to me, so... yeah. That's why I came here, I guess. He's so cute. I just wanted to thank you. Oh, of all the things Abel could have said to me, I cannot say I was expecting this. I did not imagine that he would come to me seeking forgiveness for his behaviour that he cannot even remember, no less. I am flattered, I suppose, that he seems to appreciate me so much. Though this is a bit awkward too. I cannot say I think I have done much to be thanked for. That is very nice of you, I suppose. But you did not need to come all this way to thank me. I hope you did not feel obliged. Oh, Eddie, I didn't think of this as an obligation, so you can quit your worrying. I came here to thank you because I wanted to. The least you deserve is my thanks, really. But even then, I doubt it's enough to really repay you. It is quite alright. I am not looking for any repayment. Helping you is rewarding enough. I thought that you might say that. Who do you think you are anyway, Mother Teresa? It was not the last time that I checked. Abel snorts and shakes his head. You're funny, Eddie. I am? Oh yeah, you're hilarious. Though I don't think it's wholly intentional. I am not self-consciously styling myself as a court gesture, no. If I can make you smile, however, I would consider that worthwhile. Wow, now that's smooth. You act so, I don't know, proper. I can't imagine you flirting with anybody, but that's a real shame. You've got some moves. If you wanted, I bet you could have legions of girls swooning all over you. I do not want legions of girls swooning over me. I would not want them to hurt themselves, and it would be an awful lot for me to contend with. I have too much work to do. Gardening, you mean? That and looking after Iris. So you're too busy keeping an eye on a doddering old dear like her to go out and have some fun? Abel pouts. What a waste! I think I had enough fun last night, thank you. It was rather raucous. Yeah, I guess so. No thanks to me. I bet I said all sorts of bullshit to you last night when I was trashed. I didn't talk about Kia, did I? You did mention her, yes. I see. Did I also tell you that she died? I nod. Kia is his sister. He often feels like his parents wish he was like her. She was the perfect sister, you know, the perfect sibling, the one who does everything right. So he has a lot of baggage there. And he still loved her immensely, but it's complicated. You told me that, yes. Well, shit. I was sure I must have when I woke up this morning with a massive hangover. But I didn't know for certain. It seemed a bit inevitable, though. I don't know what I said, but I'm sorry if I started sobbing on you. It's been a recurring thing with me ever since it happened. My friends at uni couldn't stand it. I go drinking with them and I get hammered and I just go on and on about her. At least that's what they told me. When I sobered up the day after, I usually couldn't remember. My friends, Abel makes little quotation marks with his fingers when he delivers this word, told me about it though. They said I was being uncool, that they were sick and tired of hearing about Kia and it was getting to be a bit of a drag. Apparently all my drunken dead sister talk killed the vibes, which I understand, but still. They acted like the way I was acting was so hard for them, but it was hard for me too. I mean, Kia was my sister. They wouldn't have known her from Eve. I thought it was pretty shitty actually the way they told me to quit talking about her, like ignoring her would have magically erased all of my problems. But I do know I can be a bit much when I get into one of my moods. It wasn't too much, was I? I hope I didn't put you off. Trauma dumping on my uni friends was one thing, but I've only known you for a month. It feels like a lot. I guess I'm just a lot in general, though. It was a bit distressing, but I was not perturbed by it, and I certainly will not scold you for wanting to speak of it. If a death has been playing on your mind, then you can always confide in me. I do not mind. Do you really mean that? Of course. I do not say things that I do not mean. I think it would be better for you if you had somebody you can talk to about this openly. Somebody who would not judge you. Getting these things off our chests might be healthier than keeping them bottled up inside until we explode. I guess you've got a point. I was trying to keep it together after Kia's death, but it got hard, Ed. It got so hard. I tried my best, but it wasn't enough. My flatmates didn't appreciate it. I don't think they realised how much I was hurting, but how could they? Their sisters didn't die. I was really cut up about it, and they had no idea. Or if they did, they didn't give a shit. I wonder which one is worse. Abel sniffles. I can see his eyes beginning to moisten. I wonder for a few moments whether he might cry again. Oh, Edmund! Hi, Iris. I meant to check up on the garden, but my, who's this? Oh, Abel blinks back his tears and turns, affecting his brightest smile. Hi there, Mrs. L. I know you, dear. I'm not that far gone just yet. I couldn't recognise you from behind. You've grown so much. But I wouldn't forget your face. You're Abel, aren't you? Yeah, that's right. Guess you would remember me. I kind of stand out around here. Well, I cannot argue with that. There were no Chinese families in Fenchapel when I moved here, but that was 50 years ago. The times are changing. Not, I think, that they're changing for the ill. More variety is always good, and I've nothing against your family. Your mother is very friendly. She always used to chat with me when I stopped by the corner shop. Yeah, Mum's like that. She chats to almost everyone. I think it's endemic. I must have caught it off her because I never shut up myself. Just ask Eddie. I reckon I do his head in. Oh, I doubt that. Edmund seems rather fond of you if what he's told me is any indication. Ooh? Abel's eyes light up. He grins and nudges me in the side with his elbow. Have you been talking about me, Eddie? Well, obviously. I had to tell Iris I was going to Rythorpe with you yesterday, didn't I? Don't be so defensive, Eddie. I'm only teasing. I am aware of that. It is something that you seem to do a lot. I wish you would desist. Though I suppose this is preferable to your bleaker moods. I had heard, yeah. Let's not talk about my bleaker moods then. Not while Mrs. L is around. I don't want to be too depressing. Speaking of which, maybe I should head off. I don't want to get in the way, not if you need to talk to Eddie about anything. I wouldn't want to be a third wheel. Oh, nonsense. You aren't a third wheel, Abel, dear. I don't know your family all that well, but you seem like a sweet enough boy. And Edmund is rather fond of you. Iris has seen another little lad that she wants to bring into her fold. She is going to collect this boy. She is going to get her marriage license to be a priest, and she is going to marry the both of them. By God, if she has to, she is going to. She is going to make these boys happy no matter what she has to do. She is just a treasure. I trust his judgment, and I trust you too. Since you came all the way here, why don't you come inside for a cup of tea? I only just put the kettle on. Now you sound like my mother. She keeps our tea cupboard well supplied in case any guests come over. Even unexpected ones. Your mother has a whole cupboard dedicated to tea? Well, yeah, she is Chinese. It goes with the territory. I guess I wouldn't mind having something to drink if you really don't mind. But what about you, Ed? You're not sick to death at the sight of me just yet, are you? I think I can bring myself to endure at least another half hour of your company if you wish for it. Great. Thanks, Ed. You really are the best. Do not thank me. Thank Iris. She is the one who invited you inside. Right. That's true enough. Where are my manners? Thanks for your hospitality, Mrs. L. It's real good of you. It's no problem, dear. Any friend of Edmund's is a friend of mine. Now let's get inside. I could murder some Earl Grey. And maybe a slice of sponge cake too. It's never too early in the day for cake. She has collected Abel so quickly and so efficiently. Oh, I'm proud of her. Oh wow, this Victoria sponge is amazing. Did you make this yourself, Mrs. L? Indeed I did. One does not like to boast, but I am something of a dab hand in the kitchen. I have been alive for more than 80 years after all. I've had plenty of practice. Well, I can see that. I can taste it too. Damn, this is good. My own mother could never. Does your mother bake at all, Abel dear? A little, I guess, when she's in the mood. Sometimes she fancies herself as a patissiere. But her cakes aren't anywhere near as good as yours, Mrs. L. Your sponge is so soft and airy, it's to die for. I was actually kind of worried that I wouldn't be able to stomach any cake. I've been feeling queasy all morning. This cake is really good though, it's so light I feel I can keep it down no problem. Well, that is good news. I am glad to know that you appreciate my colouring efforts so much. Makes for quite the pleasant change. A change? Oh yes, I am accustomed to baking for myself and Edmund, which is not a bad thing, but it's been quite a while since anybody else sampled my food. I used to bake all the time when I was young, for Jim and Andrew and the others. But they grew up a long time ago. Jim hasn't come to visit me in years, and Lita has always been flighty. Andrew and Alison still pop in from time to time, but it isn't the same as it was when they were children. I used to make puddings every other day back then. They would all clamour for my cakes. My sponge cake in particular. Goodness. Iris shakes her head, her blue eyes are misty and far away. It's been an awfully long time. I'm starting to get sentimental. Well, it's unfortunate about your kids and all, but the way I look at it, I'm pretty lucky. What do you mean, Abel dear? Well, think about it. They're not here, so that means there's even more cake for me. I don't know about you, but I'd call that a win. Oh yes, I suppose it would be from your perspective. Well, do let me know if you want another slice, dear. I've plenty of cake left to go around. Edmund and I can polish for cake on our own, but it takes a few days. By the time we get to the last slice, it is rather dried out. Cake is at its best when it's fresh. I don't like it letting it go to waste. Aye. I'll be sure to let you know, Mrs. L, if I want more. You can count on it. I'm not exactly cagey about that kind of thing, though I know my mum wishes I was. She tells me I'm too blunt. Well, you needn't worry about that with me. I prefer bluntness at my age. I do not like dancing around topics, and come to think of it, shouldn't you be minding your parents' shop? Yeah, about that. My dad let me duck out today even though my mother wasn't happy about it. She said I needed to learn some responsibility, and maybe she's right, but I wasn't really feeling it. My head really was killing me. Oh dear, I hope you feel better now at least. A bit, yeah. I think your cakes helped fortify me. Your grandma's pretty incredible, Ed. Oh yes, Iris is rather talented. I am very fortunate to have her. You can say that again. She's better at baking than my mother and she's much more chill. Was your mother annoyed at you this morning? Annoyed doesn't begin to cover it. She didn't exactly shout, but she got so passive-aggressive. It was all a bit... Abel shudders. Well, whatever. Wouldn't be the first time she's had a go at me, and I'm sure it won't be the last. She used to get on my case all the time when I was at school too. Oh? Were you something of a troublemaker, Abel? That's about the gist of it. I got involved in all sorts of stupid shit. If you'll pardon my French. Oh no, there is no offence taken. I used to work at a school myself, so I am used to foul language. Though schools were not the same back in my day as they are now. I think the children were a bit more respectful. The language they use has certainly changed. I guess that's just how it is nowadays, huh? Still, I was a right proper nightmare. At least I could be. I got involved in more than my fair share of fights, and I was caught smoking in the boys' bathroom a couple times. You smoked? Because of Ollie, yeah. He kinda goaded me into it. He kinda told me it looked cowardly if I didn't, and I guess I wanted to prove I wasn't a loser. I didn't like it very much though, it tasted awful, and I started coughing. I'm happy sticking with my vape right now. I mean, cigarettes are pretty uncool. You only really see older people with them. They stink, and they're expensive. I don't know why Ollie goaded me into it. I guess I was just that desperate to fit in. You said you got caught in the process, though. Yeah, I opened a window to try and disperse the smell of the smoke, but I guess I wasn't discreet enough. My history teacher could smell the stink of your nicotine on me when I rocked up at the next lesson, a fashionable 5 minutes late, and she pulled me to one side to have a few words. She didn't send me to the headmaster, thank fuck, but she made me feel about this big. Abel gestures with his thumb and forefinger. After that, I packed smoking in. Cigarettes, I mean. I got started out vaping in uni, which was way more palatable, but I was a kid. We all do dumb things. I do not recall doing anything particularly foolish when I was a teenager. But of course you wouldn't. You're such a goody-goody it makes me feel kinda sick. Maybe that is your hangover talking. Maybe. Abel smiles. I'm guessing you never got into trouble for throwing a partially dissected frog at Josh Summers then? I do not even know who Josh Summers is. He was a cunt. Abel delivers this harsh edict without any particular degree of passion. But he blushes after locking eyes with Iris. Oh, I'm sorry, was that too much? That depends on what this Josh boy did to you. Oh god, what didn't he do? He was a right rat bastard, Josh was. He used to pull his eyes back with his fingers when I walked past and talk in this stupid comedy accent. You know the sort. Oh, do I ever. God. What a fucking lame-ass bit. Like, it's not even interesting. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that that's not even interesting racism. What am I thinking? But like, it's so boring. There's no creativity to it. It's embarrassing. Like, it's bad. It's bad to do it, obviously, but like, fucking hell, it's not even interesting. It's just bullshit. He kept at it for ages, going on and on and on until I snapped one biology lesson. He should have counted himself lucky, really, that I only chucked a half-dissected frog at him. Not one of the scalpels. What a prick. He sounds like a piece of work. I can't imagine that your biology teacher was very happy that you were throwing dead frogs around the classroom, though. Abel shrugs. I don't think he liked Josh very much either. Nobody did. Mr. Mosey probably figured my reaction was justified. Though he did make me stay in during lunchtime to pick frog guts off the floor. He didn't tattle me to the headmaster though, that was pretty good of him. If my mother had found out about that incident, she probably would have garroted me. She was upset enough about my grades, which were always on the lower side of average. The dissected frog incident would have killed all of her faith in me, stone cold dead. Abel continues to regale Iris and myself with stories from his secondary school years, his slice of Victoria sponge neglected. Abel speaks casually enough, but he is able to bring his tales to life in a manner so vivid I can almost see him 5 years prior, buddying around with his friends. I have never experienced anything like that. I never had the chance. I do not regret the life that I led, but Abel's cherry chatter does make me feel somewhat melancholy. I cannot help but yearn for a past like that, even one which involves throwing partially dissected frogs at classmates from across the biology classroom. What would my life have been like, I wonder, if I had been born into this era like Abel was? What would it have been like to go to school, to make friends, to study for exams? Sounds very different to everything I've ever known, but that makes Abel's life conversation all the more enticing. I cannot get enough of it. He is enraptured by the little goth boy. Abel chats with Iris for a little while longer, picking at his cake and sipping his tea. About an hour passes before he eventually decides, his cake consumed, to take his leave. I knew Iris would love him. Abel has the personality of someone who is a little bit of a shit, but grandparents love him because he is a little bit of a shit, but like he's honest, you know? I don't want to impose for too long. Don't let me get started on stories from my first year of uni or I'll never stop. That's what Abel says while excusing himself, smiling brightly as he does. I rise from the table alongside Abel and offer to escort him home. An invitation which makes him roll his eyes. I'm not a fair maiden, you know, Ed. You don't have to go out of your way for me. But if you don't mind, I guess I can take you up on the offer. He's so silly. He's so silly. He's such a silly little boy. He's such a silly little lad. Look at him. Little scrunchy. Little scrungly gungly gung. There was some stuff I want to talk to you about, actually. I'm unsure what this mysterious stuff might... Am I back? Hello, beautiful people. Hello, hello. Hello, my gorgeous people. This is another reason I don't like streaming late at night. I also don't like streaming late at night because of this, guys. Would you believe this? This is a problem I have streaming in the evening. Because everyone's trying to do stuff in the evening. So this is another reason why I'm mad about the builders. Because I don't actually want to stream at this sort of time. But I'm back. This will take a bit more time to get up because I have to edit the sections together. So this VOD will take a bit more time to get up. So I'll try and edit this tomorrow. But other than that, we're back. We're back, girlies. We live. Oh, I love when things work. This is another reason why I don't stream in the evenings. Evening for me. I know I was pretty harsh about Mrs. L before, but I think I might have to retract my previous remarks. I thought having tea with her would be boring as sin, but she's surprisingly cool for an old lady. See? I smile somewhat smugly, then nudge Abel in the side with my elbow. What did I tell you? There's nothing wrong with Iris, really. Her company is rather congenial. Well, I know that now. I had some doubts on account of the whole think she can see fairies thing, but she seemed pretty lucid to me. She was easier to talk to than my mother, at least. From my own experience with your mother, that is not too hard. Ha! Get you! Didn't think you'd come for my mum like that. I know she's a colossal pain, but you've not had to live with her for 20 years like I have. She was on her best behaviour around you and, well... Abel grins. I thought you were meant to be a gentleman. Whatever happened to chivalry, huh? I was as chivalrous as I felt needed to be around your mother. I was certainly not impolite to her, though she did talk to me rather a lot. Get out, Greg. I think he's too gay for that bird. Her company was somewhat tiring, if I am being honest. Heh, well, you're not wrong there. My mum can be a right pain in the ass. She was getting on my case this morning on account of the whole being hammered thing. She kept going on and on and on at the breakfast table like it didn't already have a pounding headache to contend with. Wasn't much fun. Hence why you came to see me. That was part of the reason, yeah. I thought seeing you might cheer me up. And did I? I'd say so. I mean, I'm smiling now, aren't I? When I woke up this morning, I felt so lousy I didn't think I'd ever smile again. I should probably head back now, but I can't say I'm too crazy about the idea. I don't fancy being nagged by my mother for being the family disappointment all over again. Thank you for Stream Elements for figuring out that I'm live again. Good job. Ahead of the curve. So clever, so wise. There's only so much verbal abuse a guy can take, you know? I understand. I doubt being lectured will help your hangover. And didn't you say that you wished to discuss something with me? Stream Elements is trying to keep up just like the rest of us. You know, Fear. Stream Elements is just one guy. He's just one guy. He's doing his best out here. I guess, yeah. I'm starting a conspiracy that Stream Elements is just run by one guy in his basement and he's doing his fucking best, actually. That's really funny. It's not a bot, it's just like one guy. I need to get some stuff from my chest. Stuff I couldn't talk about in front of Iris. She's a lovely woman, but there's some shit she didn't need to know. If you don't mind lending me an ear, that is. Yeah, that's why he's late sometimes. He's running around to every stream to make the announcements. Okay, you gotta be nice. He's doing his best. Well, I had anticipated as much. That is why I offered to walk Abel home in the first place. Could tell based on the glances he kept shooting me while he was eating his cake that he had more he wished to say. I might be transparent. Let's go! Transparence? I love when the parent is trans. Let's go. Look at go. Happy Pride. It's not Pride Month, but I'm happy about Pride being like real. Let's go. Me when the parents are trans? Sorry. But Abel's not much better than I am. That's always the funniest joke to me. The word transparent, I always turn it into that because I think it's really funny and fun. And silly. It is with some trepidation. It's a great joke. It's a great joke. And I think we should make it all the time and it will never get old and no one can get tired of it. It is with some trepidation. That's another good word. Trepidation. That's a fucking amazing word, actually. Brilliant word. Trepidation. Write that down, guys. Trepidation. Use that word more. It is with some trepidation that I venture into the forest alongside Abel, the grass swaying about my ankles. I don't have the best memories of this place. But the forest does not appear to be dangerous. Not overtly so in any case. I've been walking alongside Abel for the last few minutes, but I've yet to hear the noxious whispers of any infernal fairies. Perhaps they really have been vanquished. It seems almost impossible to believe in such a thing, but with how dense the magical energy which swirled through the air once was in this place. But it feels lighter now, and cleaner. The air which I inhaled tastes sweet and cool upon my tongue. Perhaps there really is no need for me to worry. Am I fussing over nothing? Miney always does say I'm a boring fusspot. I think that comes with the territory being an older brother. Leah Faye may not be here, but I cannot shake off my tendency to worry about others. It's too ingrained with my nature. I keep a close eye on Abel as we walk, lest we run into any enemies. But our walk has been rather pleasant thus far. Perhaps I should try and relax more. I'm sure if Miney were here, that's what she would tell me to do. I'm busy pondering this when... So what do you think? It's nice out here, isn't it? I suppose. I glance about the forest, mistrustfully. My misgivings have yet to wane, but I'm unsure how to explain my feelings to Abel. How is he to know that this forest was once infested with fae folk, and that I, only 3 years prior, met my end here? If I were to confide in him, he would think me mad, just as his mother thought that Iris was touched in the head. I suppose I'll have to keep quiet. I walk through the woods mutely, past the disused train tracks and deeper into the labyrinth of tall, towering oaks. All the while, I keep my hand resting against my hip. I know that I cannot summon my sword, not any longer. But it offers me a degree of reassurance all the same. I suppose old habits are not easy to shake. I have little to say, but Abel is fairly talkative. He pauses to point out the odd fungal infestation at the base of a tree or the plumage of a bird perched among the boughs above our heads. All the while, his brown eyes shine, his lips curved into a bright smile. At least it looks like he's having fun. There's something boyish, in fact, about the excitable way he gestures at all the forest has to offer. Almost charming enough to soothe my nerves. Almost. We keep walking, depressing the leaves and the twigs beneath the soles of our shoes with what I assumed was little purpose, but... Ah! It looks like we're almost here. I can hear the sound, though faint, of running water. Now this is familiar. Omni? You've been called Bottomnia? You are pretty bottom energy, I'm not gonna lie, but that's an interesting nickname. Oh, it's Omni and Bottom and then an A slapped at the end. That's so clever. That's clever, I love that. Now this is familiar. Surely Abel does not mean to leave me there, does he? I hope I'm mistaken, but... Here we are! Abel pauses by the bank of a lake, one situated in a light, airy clearing. The grass which fringes the bank sways about my ankles, brushing them as do the leaves on the tree which line the lake. Don't agree with... Why wouldn't I agree? Sir, I know you. You are very submissive. It is very pretty here, but... What do you think? Isn't it nice? Now what am I to say to that? It is true enough that the lake is nice. If this was my first time coming here, I'd be suitably appreciative of the wonders of the natural world and of all the trees and of the sunlight as it plays across the surface of the water. Good job, Omni. I'm glad you figured out where you are. There is no shortage of things I could praise. If I was an artist like Marnie, this is a scene I would delight in painting. But, then again, perhaps not. Marnie does not seem to care for landscapes. She finds them too inoffensive, bland, and overdone and unchallenging. She far prefers to paint landfill sites overflowing dustbins found on council estates in the seedier parts of London. Oh, she's so fun. But I am getting distracted. This lake is pretty, but I have few words of praise to offer it. It was here that I had my final skirmish with Lisbeth. A skirmish which proved to be fatal. Oh, thank you for the hydrate. It was on these banks, by the side of the clear mirror-like lake, that Lisbeth's sword pierced my chest. It was hurt when she impaled me, but it hurt even more when she drew her sword out of my body. With the absence of her blade, I began to bleed out. When I pressed my fingers to my front in an attempt to staunch the wound, they turned red. I lost so much blood. My vision began to blur. The world spun around me. This is a sequel to a game about Yuri fantasy stuff. And this is the guy in the Yuri game who was kind of an antagonist, but then it turned out he was actually tortured and sad. And this is the sequel where he gets a cute boyfriend. So he's still all somber and brooding and morbid and like morose. He doesn't get over things. He broods so much. Isekai is infecting everything. No! This isn't a video game thing. This isn't isekai at all. This isn't no video gamey. This isn't video game worlds doing things. This is I know it's in a video game, but shush. It's like just a fantasy story with some modern that's spilled into the model world. It's different. This has been a thing forever. No, stop it. Stop it, Greg. I'll kill you. Don't make me time you out. I will. I'll kill you. I could hardly see. I staggered into the lake and then... Yeah, mod spam that guy. That's my energy whenever someone says something is wrong. Yeah. I enjoy the idea. I've never had to be like that bitch. Not quite yet. But I feel the energy of I will like time you out for a day. Because you said something that I didn't like. I should add a regime where someone can be timed out. Like can just ask to be timed out and be put in jail. That would be really funny actually. Never has I kill you sounded so cute. Oh, but yeah. See, already someone wants to be timed out on purpose. I'm a genius. I will add that then. I'll have to pick a reasonable time for people to be timed out. Half an hour sounds reasonable, right? No, I'm just kidding. That's a bit mean for one where you're asking to be timed out. I will have to think about that, actually. Hi, Ed. Earth to Ed? Are you still here? Do you copy? Oh, yes, I am still present. I am paying attention. I was just a bit distracted, I suppose. 10 minutes isn't a bad idea. I am mentally noting your enthusiasm and your concepts. Well, I could see that. You looked like you were lost in thought. You weren't blown away by the transcendental beauty of this place, were you? You looked like the kind of sap who'd be stunned speechless by a particularly nice tree. Oh, I suppose? Oh, by the way, guys, the vote for the, emote. Fuck, what did I set the Discord thing for again? The vote for the emote is ongoing, so if you guys want to vote still, go do that. We've got a few fun options. Some of them are scary coded, some of them are horny coded. One of them is scary coded, a few of them are horny coded, and one of them is just cute. So it's a good array of things. Posture check. Oh, thank you. It is easier to explain my reticence as simple sappiness than it is to delve into my myriad past traumas I've yet to properly process. There will be like future polls in the Discord for other things that we achieved in the subathon, so keep your eyes open. This might be something I should talk through with a therapist. But then again, maybe not. Getting help via the NHS is difficult enough as it is owing to the miserably long queues. I imagine it will be even harder, however, when your problems stem from the fact that you were born more than 1,000 years ago, your family has long since rotted away, and you were unfortunate enough to be stabbed to the chest by a girl masquerading as your dearly departed little sister 3 years prior. Yeah, that's a lot. I don't think therapists would be trained for that. I don't think the therapists can help with that. I think that's just your lot in life, man. Mine is a particular type of PTSD I do not think any therapists working in the East Midlands have been trained to treat. No, I don't think they can do that one. I knew it. You're so predictable. Abel laughs and takes a seat. Yeah, it's reincarnation shit. And takes a seat by the lakeside after nudging me in the side with his elbow. I follow suit after a brief pause on stiff legs that initially refused to bend. I do not like being here. Every fibre of my being is screaming at me to run away, but I know my dislike is illogical. I might have died here once, but I have since been revived, and I am no longer picking fights with any sword-wielding maidens convinced that they are my little sister. I'll be fine. I should be fine, at least. I have Abel. That is a comfort. Though there is something rather perplexing about this. How can Abel come here? I thought that this lake was the domain of the fairies, part of Titania's kingdoms. With her defeat, huge swaths of the forest which were disconnected from the mortal plane faded away. This lake should have met a similar fate. How was Abel able to get here? Well, I suppose there is only one way to find out. How long have you known about this place, Abel? Not very. It's pretty deep in the forest. Though that's pretty strange in and of itself. I used to play in the woods all the time as a kid, even though my parents told me not to. And I never once stumbled across this place. It's like it just, I don't know, appeared one day as if by magic. Not that that could ever happen, of course. Now I sound as bad as Mrs. L. No offence. Abel smiles weakly and I shake my head. I am not offended, though Iris might be. You should not be so rude to your elders and betters. She could very well have had a point after all when she spoke of magic. There are some things in this world which are hard to explain. Like this lake, for instance. Have you been here before, Ed? You've lived in Fenchapel for a while, so maybe you've stumbled across it? I am familiar with this place, yes. I might have been here once or twice. For several centuries at a time. You go sleep now, Omni? That's okay. Thank you for popping in, and thank you again for the sub. I do appreciate it. Phew. That'd definitely explain why you look so blasé about this then. I wanted to wow you with the beauty of this place, especially when I thought I'd managed to stumble across one of Fenchapel's hidden gems. I mean, I've lived in Fenchapel for 20 years, but I never found this place until I went on a walk a few weeks ago. How crazy is that? That is rather peculiar, yes. I know, right? I figured, if a huge ass lake like this was in the woods, my parents would have warned me not to go near it as a kid. They know what I'm like. I was exactly the sort of brat who would have tried taking a dip in here and probably drowned. I don't believe in magic, but this place is kind of... well, whatever. If you've been here before, I guess it can't be anything all that fantastical. Why would my having come here make this place confirm that? Because you're such a sensible guy, duh. You, like, repel a mystery. Is that the impression I give? I am glad, I suppose, that I've been able to integrate into modern society so well. My speaking habits aside. But it would be nice if I could one day tell Abel the truth about who I really am. You said you found this place when you went for a walk. Yeah. I was being all gloomy, thinking about Kia as per usual, and then... I don't know. It was like a voice called out to me. It felt like it was guiding me. Or something. Followed the voice and I wound up here. But that sounds kind of nutty, doesn't it? Maybe I was just sleep deprived. I've not been getting enough beauty rest lately. Hi, Endeavour. Give Hina a treat? Oh. I'll do it after stream because she's had a few treats because we had to give her a treat as an apology because Mum cuddled her for almost 20 minutes and Hina hates being cuddled for long stretches of time. So I'll give her one after stream so there's a gap. You get it. We don't want the upset tummy baby. It is an interesting tale, but I do not disbelieve it. Make El Gato fato? Oh, she is chunky already, bestie. There's a reason why you can only do this once a stream. You can own there's a reason you can only do that once a stream, bestie. I'm more worried about giving her too many treats in like a small window and making her stomach upset. If that's what you think happened, then who is to say you were not led here by some greater purpose? People believe in stranger things. Yeah, I guess they do. Thanks, Ed. For a while I was beginning to doubt my sanity. But it's nice having you reassure me. Maybe that's the real reason why I brought you here. To prove that you're not insane? Yeah. Well, if you are mad, I suppose I must be too. You think? Abel laughed softly while drawing his legs up against his chest. That might not be so bad. Even if I've gone insane, it's nice to know I'm not alone. His expression is uncommonly pensive, just as I suppose mine own is. Coming here has dredged up a lot of memories, and they aren't particularly pleasant. I never thought I would come back here. I never thought I would be able to come back here. Was Titania's magic steeped so deeply into the earth of Fenchapel's forest that some of it refused to vanish even after she was vanquished? Perhaps that is why this lake still exists. The ghostly memories of Titania's former entourage must have lured Abel to this lake. But for what cause? Did they mean him harm? Perhaps the ghostly memories of this fae folk who haunt this lake were simply lonely. Abel's sorrow might have resonated with them. In fact, part of me has to wonder whether the voice which called him hence was not Leah Fae. Her lingering memory was able to revive me after all, when I had already passed on. Oh, I'm sorry, Wolfie, the head pats is currently broken, but I feel it in spirit. Mix it up as being a bitch about those things, the VTube things lately, but I appreciate it nonetheless. I need to fix that. She pulled me from the dark, cold abyss, and she gave me life anew. Yeah, I don't know why, it just decided one day that it would not work. That those things wouldn't work. I don't know why. Though I am supposed to be Leah Faye's big brother, and I swore to protect her, I think she's done a much better job taking care of me than I have her. Who is to say she did not guide Abel here too? Just wanted to drop by and get some laughs before you nap? Oh, thank you, Wolfie. Get that rest. Get that good rest on. It was nice to see you. It is always a possibility. And even if it is not the case, I would like to imagine that it is. It is nice to imagine that Leah Faye might have met Abel and that she might too have given him her blessing. Would she approve of our friendship, I wonder, if she knew about us? I would like to think so. She did tell me that I should try to live for myself, a life not so intimately entwined with her own. I stare up the lakeside, feeling pensive. I can feel magic stirring in the earth where I'm sitting, but it's very weak. These are echoes of echoes, little more than ghosts. In time, I imagine the magic which remains imbued in the earth will fade, and this phantasmal lake will disappear alongside it. But until then, I'm content enough to sit here with Abel. I know I've said this already, but I really am glad that you came here with me, Ed. I've never been to this place before, but it reminds me of a lake I used to go to with my family when I was younger. We used to have picnics there, my mum, my dad, my sister and me. Flew kites with Kia, my dad would tinker with his model boats. He was pretty possessive of them. They were an expensive hobby, even though they were so dinky. But sometimes he let me have a go with the controls. Provided I didn't capsize them, of course. Abel fishes about the lakeside for a few moments until he eventually retrieves a smooth, flat rock. My dad also showed me how to do this back in the day. He was a lot better at it than I was, but I've gotten a bunch of practice in since then. Wonder if I can beat his personal record. Abel draws back his arm, then sends the rock flying. The rock flies from his grasp and arcs before the air. Before landing on the surface of the water, the rock skips once, twice, thrice before it plummets, sinking beneath the crystalline waters of the lake with a quiet plop. Huh, that's not half bad. Did you beat your father's high score? Nah, he said his personal best was 6 steps. But I'm not sure if I believe him. You've met my dad, right? I have seen him at the shop, yes. I have not spoken to him as much as I have your mother, though. Then you'd know he isn't much to write home about. His arms are like noodles. I think he was bullshitting, actually, about 6 steps. The most I've ever been able to manage is 4. And what about Kia? Her. Abel snorts. Her high score was 5. She's always got to one-up me, even when she's dead. Shit's not fair, man. A pouting Abel draws his knees beneath his chin once more, then loops his arms around his legs. He looks down at his lap, his eyes half obscured by his fringe, and murmurs, I used to get along with her pretty well, actually, when we were both kids. It's crazy to think about it now, but I used to follow her around like a lost puppy. I don't remember too much about that, but I do remember how much I loved her. I thought she was perfect, just like my parents, and her teachers, all our relatives, even Aunt May. Abel frowns and looks down at his knees. He says nothing else, but I think there is more he wants to say. Surely you did not bring me here to reminisce. It didn't stay like that, though. Good things never do. Kay and I drifted apart pretty quickly after I went to secondary school, and my parents started to nag me about my grades. By the time I was 13, I'd been compared to Kia so much I couldn't stand her. We started to argue about everything. It's hard to believe I ever used to play with her by that old lake. It happened so long ago, it kind of feels like a dream. I can still remember it, though. I loved Kia a lot, but... Abel pauses. Then... She's gone now. It's been 5 months since she passed away. It happened earlier this year, back in January, when it was all icy. Do you remember how cold it was last winter, Ed? Naturally. It snowed a bit around here and I could not do any work in the garden. I had to move a lot of Iris's vegetables into the greenhouse, but even then they did not grow. The weather was frigid. Yeah, that tracks. It was even colder, or so I heard, in York. Like so cold I think the banks of the Foss froze over. It's not really relevant, but the ice is. My sister, well, wasn't there at the time, so I don't know how everything went down, but from what I heard, it was a little like this. She'd just gone back to uni after spending Christmas here in Finchapel with the rest of our family. Some of her friends, she had lots of friends, were having a New Year's party and they invited her over. The party lasted until like 3 or 4 or something. The coroner's report said she'd been in the river a good 6 hours before they fished her out. so she can't have left any later than 4. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Abel sighs despondently. Anyways, she stayed out really late, and by the sounds of it, she got kind of drunk. That was unusual for Kia, but whatever. I can hardly judge how much she drank. I'm way worse. It was so late by the time the party wound down, her friend said she should call a cab to get back. But Kia was all, oh no, oh no, it's fine. I only live 10 minutes away, so I'll walk it. Her friends were a little iffy about it, but they knew Kia was reliable. So they left her to it. Don't do that! Guys? No matter how short the distance, don't let your friend walk home alone in the dark. Mad woman, whatever gender, don't let your friend walk home alone in the dark. Don't do that. Okay, get it. But don't let them do that. It's not safe. So many things can happen. Be good to your friends. No matter how reliable they seem. It doesn't matter. Anything can happen. They let her walk back on her own, and Abel's expression twists. Hey Wicked, thank you for the hydrate, hon. I hope you're doing well. I know it's crazy early for you guys. Yeah, Endeavour, go fly to Greg and make him walk. And like walk with him for things. Take care of him. Oh, I know that feeling, Wicked. Yeah, sometimes it just doesn't feel like... Sometimes even though it's like super late and you really should be in bed, it just doesn't feel like bedtime, you know? It just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't click. But it's good to see you, bud. You missed the stream crash. It was wild. That's why I don't stream at this sort of hour usually. But you know what's been going on. You know why I had to. I had to stream at some point. Abel's expression twists. It was dark outside and she was drunk and it had been snowing, so it was all icy. What's the game about? So it's a sequel to another game that the creator made about Yuri, where they have to defeat... The Yuri one was where they had to defeat a fairy queen who had like control of a forest and was basically killing and kidnapping everyone who walked into it. And our blonde boy here was a knight that she was controlling to wander the forest forever and kill anyone he came into contact with. And he was killed by the Yuri lesbians. And revived, and now he lives in a small English town with one of the lesbians' grandmas and takes care of her garden and everything, and he's quite pleasant and happy. He's so morose and depressing though at the same time, you know, like he's content but he's definitely depressed, you know. Yeah, this isn't England. Ebihime makes most of her like works be set in it is not Wet Wang. It's somewhere called Fen Chapel. I don't know if that's a real place. I'm so sorry, Endeavour. It is not Wet Wang. I know, it's a letdown. We were all throwing our arms out in fury when we found out it was not Wet Wang. But he's basically just been living on autopilot. And one day he goes down to the corner shop to pick up some milk because she needs milk. They just need milk at the house. And there's this cute goth boy at the counter and he's like, oh. And they like have an instant connection and they start hanging out. And they're kind of talking about depressing shit. So the goth boy's sister died like months ago and he hasn't ever really been able to cope with it. And he's just kind of talking about it with his guy here. In the last time we were in the game, the goth boy did get drunk and kiss the blonde. But he doesn't remember anything he did. At least that's what he says. Who knows what actually happened? Who knows if he actually remembers if it happened or not? So he says he's straight, the little goth boy. But I have suspicions, you know. He is in a yaoi game. He is one of the main boys. Fen Chapel isn't a real place. That's probably wise because Ebihime is actually like pretty popular in the visual novel scene. And it would probably be kind of dangerous for a small town to be the star of a visual novel that was quite popular with the groups. You know, it's probably wise that she made it up. No one is ever truly straight. I have bad news about my younger brother, Greg. I have bad news about my younger brother. He is actually straight. He told me that he spent a day soul searching in his heart of hearts. And he's still heterosexual. It's just a mask. I don't know, he gets pretty serious when he does his soul searching. He's a very serious man. I appreciate that you think he's gay, but I think we can give him a pass on this one because he has actually tried to think about it. But yes, he is recounting how his sister died. Yeah, I know, Greg. I know. I know everyone should be a little bit gay, but he has tried to think about it. It was dark outside and she was drunk and it had been snowing, so it was all icy. I guess Kia went back the scenic route by the River Ouse, and then... Well, it doesn't take a genius to figure out what happened. Kia was good at everything, you know. The cello, netball, horse riding, you name it. But she never learned how to swim. Can't have helped that the water would have been frigid and it was dark. And there was nobody else around to help her, so... You know what, Shell? That's fair. Maybe in like a decade he'll have another think about it and he'll change his mind. Maybe he's only straight right now. Maybe time will pass and it'll be different. Things like that happen quite frequently. Good on you for doing that soul searching another time though. Like, good on you for going back to that drawing board and like going, hang on. So yeah. She drowned. Good God. I stare at Abel, momentarily stunned and silenced by how bleak his story. How utterly pointless, or how utterly awfully pointless Kia's death was. Sometimes you can tell in an Ebihime story when she is writing this in a tired, feverish state, and I'm okay with that. That must have been awful. I'm so sorry for your loss. It's alright. It's been a while. I should have processed it all already, and anyway, it's not like I'm responsible for her death. Those friends of Kia's, though, invited her over to that party. Rhiannon and... Christ, what were the other girls called? One of them was Italian. She had a fancy name. Joelina, maybe? I don't know. Well, whatever. These three girls, Kia's mates, were beside themselves. They came all the way to the Fiend Chapel for her funeral, and they were absolutely gutted. Rhiannon, the Welsh one, I remember her, because she came over to speak to me, was going on and on about how it was all her fault. How she should have insisted that Kia got a taxi, or that she should have walked her home. Yeah, that's really normal, actually. It's survivor's guilt. Like, she wasn't in the incident, she was no way for her to be in the incident, but Rhiannon is experiencing a form of survivor's guilt, yeah. Oh, new episodes of Sakamoto Days? Oh, congrats, Greg. Not my kind of thing, but I appreciate that you're excited for something. That's cool. We love that. She cornered me after the service in the graveyard and she like pretty much begged me for my forgiveness. Okay, don't do that with grieving family members. Pro tip. Pro tip from Priscilla, don't do that to grieving family. She hadn't worn waterproof makeup, the daft cow, and she cried half her foundation off during the service and her eyeliner was like... Edward gestures with his fingers. She looked a bit like Edward Scissorhands. She had black hair too, so it kind of fit. It was all way too much. I didn't really know what to do. What was I supposed to say? It's all right. Your carelessness led to my sister's untimely death. I forgive you. I mean, please. What a way to put me on the spot. You don't do that. Fucking hell. She was fit too, was Rhiannon. Under normal circumstances, I guess she would have been a solid 8 out of 10. Even if she was about a foot taller than me. Now, come on, I know you've got a complex about your height, Mr. Abel. But tall women are good. Tall women are good shit. She looked like a model, but all that crying had made her eyes all blotchy, and it was just... I don't know. Honestly, it was kind of scary. I've never seen anybody cry so much before. Not even my own mother lost it quite as spectacularly as Rhiannon did. I still think about that from time to time, actually. The way she came over to me, I mean, and the way she looked at me. was like she was hoping that, I don't know, absolve her of all her sins so she could start feeling guilty. Like I have any power to do that. I'm not a fucking priest. I was just upset about all this as she was. I'm still upset. Abel falls silent and looks out across the lake. Abel exhales. Then he says, in a deadpan manner which seems almost non sequitur, Kia was 4 years older than me. Did you know that? You did say she was older than you, but I did not know how much older. Well, now you do. She was a PhD student at York Uni. She was studying history, doing a research paper on this guy called Lanfranc, I think. Oh, we have to look him up. Hang on, guys. Hang on, chat. Small segue. Small segue into finding out who this guy is. Hang on. Got my phone out, haven't I? Lanfranc. Lanfranc. Turns out there's a lot of guys called Lanfranc. The one who hid in the attic? That doesn't tell me anything, sir. If that's a... Oh, that's a joke? Anne Frank, fuck. Okay, that's actually good. Okay. That was actually good. Good on you. Good on you. Okay, he was an Italian-born English churchman, monk, and scholar. Born in Italy, he moved to Normandy to become Benedictine monk at Bec. In his lifetime, he was regarded as the greatest theologian of his generation. Why is he useful to history? I don't get that. I guess you just liked him. Oh, apparently he introduced a lot of widespread changes to the Church of England. Maybe that would be pretty decent. That would be pretty decent for a paper. I don't know much about him, so I can't tell you any actual details. Kia talked about it a bit back at Christmas, but it all went over my head. All went over my head. I'm not particularly interested in the Church of England back in like the 11th century, what the heck. I was looking at the right guy. Yes, I win. I found the right guy in my silly little impromptu Google search. Hee. But Kia was. She was really smart. She graduated from Nottingham Uni with a first, then applied for a PhD. She probably could have gone to Oxford or Cambridge. Her grades were definitely good enough. But she didn't want to be too far away from the family. She's always been a mummy's girl, you know. She and her mother were this close. Abel gestures, crossing the fingers of his right hand for emphasis. They used to do everything together when Kia still lived at home. Hairdressers appointments and shoe shopping, getting their nails done, everything. Kia used to call all the time too, even when she moved to Nottingham, and she came back home every other weekend. Our parents adored her. She was their favourite child, the apple of their eye. Yeah, so he loved his sister. He loved his sister dearly. But it was complicated. Kia had always done well in school. I will take you. Actually, Greg, that's a great idea because I do need to get my nails done. I haven't had them done in so long. We should get our toenails done too, Greg. Matching sets, you know? I'm not very good at shoe shopping, but I will go. Greg, I would love to get my nails done with you. Yeah. We'll get. Well, I will get like patterns on my nails. I think I don't want just like a flat color. I want some fun fancy design. You know, we should get something fun and fresh. I think, Greg, that you would look really good with something really like interesting, monochrome stripes or something like that. Maybe a grids, like a checkerboard. That would be very cool. And she played the cello in her school orchestra. Yes, Shale! Go get your nails done too. We should all go and get our nails done. Guys, if you get your nails done, post it in the Discord. I want to see them. You don't have to post your toe pics, because I know how that is sometimes, you know. People are weird about feet. But post your nails. If you get them done, I want to see it. Endeavour. Black with flame effects and a cool S on the thumb. Bro, if you go to the nail salon and get that done, I would fucking love to see that. Please. Please. I would love to see that. Everyone, if you get your nails done, please post in the Discord. I really want to see that. I love pretty nails. I love all sorts of... You're not going to believe this, guys. But I love art of any genre. Shocking, I know. No matter the form of the art, I'm a fan. She played the cello in the school orchestra and she was on the girls' netball team too. Oh my god. Was she doing enough? Hello, girl. Calm down. She was good at academics, the arts, and sports. Bitch, no wonder she drank that night. She was so close to crashing out. She was doing too much. Don't you think that's a little unfair? She sounds like a very well-rounded woman, I suppose. She was basically perfect. If it wasn't for that sodding B she got in GCSE French, she would have been a superwoman. And even then was only a B. If I'd gotten a B in anything, I would have been over the moon. I was lucky enough to scrape by with C's. God, same. I was actually really bad at school. Like, you know me, guys. I love learning. I love so many silly things, but I was actually really didn't do well at school. I was lucky to get enough points on my like credits on my report card to actually pass my levels, my like last year of school, because it was bad. I did not pass maths as a subject, but I got the credits to pass the actual year of all subjects, you know. Bad at taking tests, Endeavour. Me too. Me too. It wasn't good. School wasn't a good environment for you to learn, Shell. No, I find that there's a lot of problems with the school systems. I would be speaking only from my experience, and I am in a smaller country. I'm not American, I'm not in the UK, I'm not in Europe. It would be my very personal experience, but there are a lot of problems, and I imagine, given how standardized schooling is throughout the world, given that you can like transfer a lot of things between countries, I imagine that they are very similar problems. If I'd gotten, lucky to scrape by with C's. My mum said that my shite grades were my own fault. She said I didn't apply myself enough, and maybe she was right. Yeah. It's hard though, Abel, it's hard. But can you really blame me? Yeah, no, I can't blame you. Mum gushed and gushed about Key to anybody who'd listen, but she didn't have the time of day for me. Yeah, why would you try? Why would you? You weren't getting anything out of trying. What was the point? She never praised me. It was always, why can't you pay more attention at school like your sister? And why do you never help around the house like your sister? And why can't you be more agreeable like your sister? Why would you try? Why would you try if that's the environment you're dealing with? When nothing is praised, what's the point? His mother makes me so angry, I swear, guys. His mother makes me want to eat. It makes me want to chew bark. Does that make sense? It was all Kia, Kia, Kia. That's all I ever fucking heard, both at home and at school. My teachers used to get on my case about it all the frickin' time too. I guess they were disappointed I wasn't more studious like Saint Kia. That I wasn't about to bring the grade point average for the class up. Yeah! Teachers are really fucking shit at that. Oh my god. I hated... Like, my older brother, when we were at the same... people would remember, like, we don't look very similar, my older brother and me. So I didn't always get clocked as being his sibling. But when I was, people would be like, oh, you're his sister. You're his sister. And I would have like, I'd be like, oh, yeah, what assumptions are you going to make about me? He wasn't like a grade A student, so I didn't have that pressure on me, but it wasn't easy either way. People have expectations based on like bloodlines and shit, and it's weird. I wasn't the worst at school, but I definitely wasn't the best. I was average, but average is this annoying way of looking like shit when you get stacked up against somebody who's so much better than you. Maybe that's why my parents never bothered with me. Why would they? They already had one perfect child. I lived in Kia's shadow my whole life. I always knew I'd never be as good as her, so I guess I didn't try. I didn't see the point. Why bother trying to achieve the impossible? I knew I was at the bottom of the pile, and I guess I was content to stay there. Beat busting my ass for slivers of recognition at least. Slivers I knew I wouldn't get, because I'd still be inferior to my sodden older sister. Yep. Part of me did wonder if things might change after Kia died. But things are even worse than they were, if that's even possible. Kia's all my parents talk about nowadays. Yeah, she's all they think about. She's all they care about. I know when they look at me they wish I'd been the one to go instead of her, and it hurts, but I can't even blame them. I want to kill his family. Teehee. If I was in their shoes, I'd probably think the same thing. Compared to her, I'm a fuck up. I should have expected it, but I don't know. I guess I still don't know how to process it, but how can I? Happened way too quickly. If Kia had been sick, at least I would have been given a few months to come to terms with things. But I didn't have any of that. One day she was there and she was fine, and the next... Abel's voice trails off. He sniffs, his eyes shining with tears, and brings a hand up to his face and angrily swipes his tears away. Part of me wishes she'd gotten cancer instead. Then I would have seen things coming. But isn't that sick? Isn't it twisted? This is the shit I love with Ebihime's writing. She goes to this sort of human point where you think things that are kind of immoral and horrific, and you face them. You face them and you understand why you feel them, and you understand that sometimes you feel things that suck and aren't kind, and that's just how it is sometimes. And you just have to, like, that's part of being a person. You aren't going to be nice all the time. Sometimes you're going to think things about other people that is fucked up and horrible, and you just have to live with that. A slow, protracted, painful death wouldn't have been any better for Kia. Not that I imagine drowning was a bed of roses either. Like, that is what I love about her writing so much, is that she delves into these such human horrors of the mind. There's a reason I'm a massive fan of her writing. I guess it doesn't matter how she died though. She's gone now, and that's that. It's final. There's nothing I can do about it. I'll never be able to talk to her again. I never got to say goodbye to her, and... fuck. I keep thinking about her all the time. I tried to distract myself, but it doesn't work. She's never far from my mind. I think about the holidays we went on when we were kids, and the Christmases we spent together, and all the times we went to Sikon to see our grandparents, and Abel stares at me. His expression is stricken, his brown eyes too large in his pale face. I was such a shit to her. I was horrible. I knew compared to Kia, I was just Abel. I was a loser. So why put in the effort? I'd never be able to beat her at anything. I was always second best. Kia was the clever one. She had a whole future in front of her. I was just coasting, but she really worked. She had ambition. She was driven. So maybe that's why I hated her. Maybe I was jealous of her. I did all sorts of shit to her to wind her up. Petty, stupid, selfish shit. I'd play loud music when she was trying to study or practice my guitar. And sometimes I'd borrow her shit, her liquid eyeliner and some of her makeup without asking. I broke the strings of her cello messing around with it. And I'd eat the snacks she'd brought for herself from the fridge. And when she got shirty about it, I'd shout at her. We argued every single day. We weren't close at all. I didn't want to be close to her. I thought she was looking down on me just like everybody else. I thought I didn't want anything to do with her. And now I've gotten my wish. I don't have anything to do with her because she's gone, but I don't feel happy about it. This isn't what I wanted. Abel begins to cry in earnest. Glossy tears, round like pearls, bead on his eyelashes, which are dark and spiky, then trickle down his cheeks. His shoulders are shaking. He looks vulnerable, fragile. Seeing him in such an obvious state of distress is heartbreaking. I do not want him to suffer so much, not over something that is not his fault. I would like to comfort him if I can, and so... Oh, Abel, come here. Oh. Guys, look, woo, cheering! We got a new CG! Oh. My boys. My boys! Pog. God. I really like your poorly timed pogs, Greg. They're fucking amazing. They're actually amazingly timed pogs, but like so bad for the context, and also really good for the context. It's genuinely hilarious. You're so good at pogging. Never stop, hun. I approach Abel, then draw him to me. My arms are wind about Abel's waist, and I embrace him. I hold Abel to me as I held Leah Faye in the past, on the rare occasions when she was feeling despondent. I rub his back with my palms, feeling it quaver beneath my touch. I do not apply too much pressure, being fearful that I might harm him. That would be rather antithetical to my attempts to soothe. Unfortunately, my embrace does little to soothe Abel's tears. They continue to bead in his eyes, to trickle down his cheeks. And Abel shivers, though it was a certain degree of irony that he says, God, I really must look pathetic if you're gonna frickin' hug me. This is so embarrassing. There is no reason to be embarrassed. I am not going to judge you. We all have feelings. Well, yeah, I know that. I'm not a fucking robot. Though sometimes I wish I was. It'd make this all a lot easier, but... Fuck. You don't have to go this far, you know, this is pretty fucking fruity. He still thinks he's straight, guys. We have to be nice. If any of my friends knew about this... Not that I have much in the way of those. They all dropped me like a sack of shit as soon as they could because I wasn't fun enough for them anymore. How'd they expect me to have fun after my sister died? People can be fucking awful. I do not know if I would use that exact terminology. But I cannot disagree with you on that score. There are many people in this world who are unpleasant and selfish, who care for nobody save themselves. Don't I know it? I can be a bit like that too, but you're not so bad. Then you don't mind if I hug you? No. It's kind of nice, actually. Just don't tell anybody about this, okay? I don't want word getting around that I'm one step away from a full-blown mental breakdown. I was not planning to tell anybody. Who would I have to confide in other than Iris? Good point. I forgot you're a loner. You're such a weirdo. Abel laughs again as he leans in, his cheek resting against my chest. But that's probably the only reason why you've been able to put up with me. You're a really nice guy. And I don't mean that as an insult. Abel's weak laughter soon transmutes into something damper, something which sounds like sobbing. At this rate, he is going to get the front of my shirt damp. But I do not care. It does not bother me. This is a minor indignity that I am more than willing to endure, if it will cheer up Abel. I am not unaccustomed to offering succor to those in need either. It has been centuries since last I was able to be there for another, but I treated Leah Faye in much the same way. For those not in the know, Leah Faye was his dear sister. I really did love her, and now she is gone. I will never see her again, much like Abel will never be able to seek here. They have both gone somewhere far away, somewhere unreachable by words and by deeds. I will never be able to tell Leah Faye how much I love her. I will never be able to pat her head. I will never be able to hold her. I feel my own eyes beginning to sting at this thought. Oh, my boy's gonna cry. Finally, Edmund's feeling some emotions. He's letting himself not be just like a wall to the world. He has been so disconnected from everything, and I'm really glad that Abel is managing to break through that. It's really nice. It is a thought I have tried to drive away for the last several months. I've been throwing myself frantically into housework and chores about the garden as though this might dull the impact of Lea Fei's absence. But it has not. I was never able to address the root cause of my own dissatisfaction. I was running away from it. It is hard to run from my ghosts now, however. With Abel in my arms. He is trying to be honest with his own feelings. Perhaps I ought to do the same. For a long, long time, Lea Fei was all I knew in this world. She was all I cared about. It was my love for her which gave me a purpose, but now I understand how you feel. Oh? Abel draws away from me, his face flushed and his eyes damp with tears, and frowns. You do? In part, yes. It is not something I'd like to talk about very much, but now it is my turn to pause. Talking about Lea Fei, thinking about talking about Lea Fei even, is more challenging than I'd imagined. I almost wish I had not brought the subject up at all. Surely it is not too late to silence myself. Abel is watching me, though, with wet eyes which are full of anticipation. He is waiting to hear what I have to say, waiting to hear, doubtless, that he is not alone in his feelings of melancholy. If I can tell him about Lea Fei, perhaps he will not feel so very alone. It is with this thought, therefore, that I push through my initial hesitation and begin to speak. I have a sister too, or had, rather. Her name was Lea Fei, and she was a few years younger than myself. She infuriated me because she was so headstrong and rebellious, but I think we got along rather well despite that. She was always telling me that I was too serious, a bit like you two as a matter of fact. She was right. She would tell me that I ought to enjoy myself more, and I told her that this was not possible. I told her that I had to be responsible, because I did not want any harm befalling her. I tried to protect her, but she did not listen. She ran away from home, and then... I pause. Even as a recollection, this is a painful tale to relate. It takes me a few moments before I can continue with it. I saw her only briefly after that, but it was the last time. She is gone now, and I will never be able to see her again. Huh? Your little sister... She didn't die, did she? I am not sure if died is quite the correct term for what happened to Lea Fei. Lea Fei, unlike Kia, was able to live a long and happy life before passing on into a state of unlife. It was from this state that she was summoned last summer, owing to the arcane magic imbued in the soil of Fenchapel's forest, so that she might rescue me from the brink of non-existence. Lea Fei was conjured back into the world of the living for but a brief while, so that she could watch over me, and later, so she could say farewell to me. But she was only ever a phantom. She did not really exist in this realm. I saw her disappear before my very eyes, in orbs of bright, brilliant light. Now she has gone somewhere I cannot reach. I will never see her smile again. In that sense, I suppose, she might as well have died. It has taken me a while to come to terms with it, but... Yes, she did. She is gone and I am still here. But I still think about her every day. I really did love her. Oh, shit. I had no idea. I'm really sorry to hear that, man. It is... fine. I do miss her a lot, but... strange though it might sound, it is a bit of a relief in a way to know that I'm not the only one who has been bereaved. When I heard about your sister and what had happened to her, I thought it was a very sad story, of course, but being taken into your confidences was strangely touching. I am glad that you feel capable of confiding in me, so I thought I ought to confide in you in turn. That is the only proper thing to do, and I was hoping you too might find some relief in hearing my story. I know we are very different, but we do have a few things in common. Perhaps that is why we can talk as easily as we do. Well, maybe. That's a bit of a grim thing to have in common, though, isn't it? A couple of dead sisters. It is grim, but he's right though. There is a certain sense of a person when they become very different when someone close to them dies. They have a different weight to them, I suppose. And like, people aren't always that. A lot of people just don't know how to cope. They want things to get easy. They want interactions with other humans to be easy, and that's not how socializing works. Socializing is complicated and messy. And that's part of why it's so good. I know I hate... My autistic brain gets like very stressed out socializing sometimes. However, I don't think humans would be very fun if we weren't a bit messy. I think if we were easy to communicate with, it would be really unpleasant and annoying. I don't think it would be very fun at all. There needs to be something to it, you know? I suppose. But this revelation has made me feel less lonely. Yeah, well, same here. I've been getting so stuck in my head sometimes, I don't know. I guess I forgot how big the world is. Even a tiny village like Fenchapel. I didn't think there'd be anybody here who'd understand me, but hearing you talk about this stuff, it's a comfort. Thanks for being here for me, Eddie, and listening to me. And thanks for opening up to me too. I'm glad, I guess, that I was able to learn a little bit more about you. And there's no problem. I'm happy to tell you about myself, and about Leah Faye too, should you wish it. We are friends, after all. Oh? Silence passes between us at this remark. Abel looks at me quizzically for a few moments before he says with a smile, "Yeah, you're right. We are friends. You might be shit at answering your phone, but you have been pretty good to me. You've taken good care of me and you've listened to me. And you haven't laughed at me. It's more than I could have asked for." No, that's basic friendship bullshit. Also, just fucking make out or something, God. Good news, gang, I'm getting to the bottom of my energy drink. Surely this won't have an impact on my sleep. I'm glad that I met you, but if you're serious about this whole friendship thing... Abel's shoulders relax and his eyes, though watery, seem to have regained some of their earlier spark. Then you should come to my place more often. Here's the thing, Greg. A lot of yaoi is they either get together like right away and fuck quick and dirty, and then they fuck lots all the time, or they have to deal with like messy boy bullshit where they don't know how to be emotional and connected because a lot of guys aren't socialized. So like there's only two flavors, and this is the one where they do all their emotions and stuff and have to figure out that they're gay still. This is still yaoi. It's slow yaoi. Oh, honey, if they just got to it, this would be on a very different website. This would be on a very different website. It would be a much shorter game too, I think. Maybe it wouldn't be. Maybe there would still be emotions. Maybe they would still, like, deal with things, and it would just be kind of messier because they had sex as well, and that would be kind of heighten the emotional factor of things, you know? It gets lonely, you know, spending my weekends indoors all on my own. That's no way to live. It's so boring, I might just die. Well, I wouldn't want that. Would your oncoming death be halted if I spent more time with you then? It'd give me something to do, yeah. I wouldn't mind hanging out with you more, and I know my mother wouldn't mind if you put in a few more visits over at our place. My mother's been banging on about what a gentleman you are. Makes me wonder if I wouldn't be taking notes while we hang out. Maybe she's hoping if we spend more time together it'll help straighten me out, turn me into a productive member of society. I cannot make any promises there, but I can spend more time with you certainly, if you do not mind that. Of course I don't. Mum's not the only one who likes you. Well, that is something of a relief. I am not sure why, but I seem to be remarkably popular among women older than 40. Iris, Hortense, and now Mrs. Zhang included. I'd love to spend more time with you, but you'd better keep your phone on you from now on, dummy. Otherwise I'll have no way of contacting you. It was kind of sad when I sent you a whole load of texts. Some of them were pretty heartfelt too, to be met with radio silence. You might think of yourself as a gentleman, but that wasn't very chivalrous. Chivalry is an ancient concept which has very little to do with responding to text messages in a timely manner. Phones had not been invented in the days of King Arthur. I will keep that in mind, however. I would not like to keep you waiting. Well, good. I'm glad to hear it. My heart was this close to breaking, Eddie, over your callous cruelty. What, really? Well, not really. But I could have. I would not want that to happen, so I'll endeavour to be more considerate. You have my word. Endeavour spotted in my visual novel? When did you get here, sir? There he is. I can see him, right there. On that little word. I can see him. He's doing a little dance on that word. I'll hold you to that. Abel grins. Oh no, he said boo. So scary. Then runs a hand through his hair. Do you want to head off? Of course they spelt it right as well. She's a UK writer. She spells it like you do. She's in the right area for spelling it right. You understand this. You have the same sensibilities on that kind of thing, you know? If you want to. Yeah, guess I might as well. We've been here long enough. I've been sitting down for so long my behind's starting to go numb. And I bet my jeans will be all dirty. Does it matter? My numb ass or the state of my jeans? The latter. They're black already. Surely the dirt will not show up. Ha! You'd think that, wouldn't you? But my mother's very particular about these kinds of things. She goes into meltdown mode whenever she sees even the smallest microbe of dirt. And she says I have problems. Oh, that sounds exhausting. Finished with our heart-to-heart, Abel and I both rose to our feet, then leave the lake behind us. Fenchapel's forest is more peaceful than it ever has been. The malignant Powell. It's not Powell. Which Titania's influence had cast upon the woods is gone. I walk alongside Abel in quiet, contemplative silence. Neither of us talk very much, as the sun warms the tops of our heads. But I suppose we do not need to. Together we emerge from the thicket of trees, our shadows emerging on the uneven ground. I can see the old train tracks which were laid decades prior, all overgrown. Thistles and dandelions are growing between the wood slats of the tracks, left to rot. Weeds which shift like the grass in the breeze. It is quiet here. So much so there is little to blunt the sounds of our footsteps. I still do not say anything, and neither does Abel. I am content enough to enjoy my surroundings in Abel's company. I am happy, I think, with a brief note of surprise to spend time with Abel like this. I was reticent at first, but now I am rather glad that he came to visit me unannounced, though his presence was. I think I was able to soothe him about Kia, and confiding to him about Leofe has in turn helped ease some of the weight upon my own shoulders. It is surprisingly easy to feel comfortable in Abel's presence. Oh, he's blushing! He's blushing! I am glad that I met him, glad that we are together. But there is something weighing in the back of my mind which sours my otherwise unsullied happiness. Abel and I talked a lot about Lakeside, but there is one topic neither of us encroached upon. Perhaps Abel has forgotten it all. He did have a lot to drink last night. But I have not. I do not think that I could, even if I tried. We did not talk about the kiss. And now I fear that I've lost the chance. It is much too late. Oh, honey, just grab his arm and say, what was that about? Silly man. Silly man. I might have spent the majority of the day with Abel, but that does not preclude me from thinking about him during the evening, too. My thoughts continue to drift towards Abel while I am preparing dinner in the kitchen, and later when I sit down to eat it with Iris. I think of Abel when Iris and I settle into the living room to watch television, and later when I retreat upstairs to my bedroom. He is on my mind as I brush my teeth, wash myself in the shower, then towel my hair dry. It is not so very late when I curl up beneath the covers, and though the sky outside is full of stars, I imagine that Abel must still be awake. He does not strike me as the sort who sleeps early, not like myself. Perhaps it's unfair to make such insinuations based solely upon his clothes, but those dark bags under his eyes are rather telling. I doubt he will be asleep, so I might as well text him. He did tell me that I ought to talk to him more. Pull out my phone, then scroll through my list of contacts. My contacts list is rather limited, but even if it was not, it would not take me more than a split second to find Abel's name. It is at the very top of my directory, given it starts with an A. How convenient. My fingertip hovers uncertainly over Abel's name for a few moments, as if I wonder whether or not to message him. But my desire to speak to Abel eventually outweighs my hesitation, and I start to text. Yes, good job, lads. Good job. So proud of him. Hello, it is me. I hope this is not a bother, but I was just wondering how you are. Yes, he does write exactly how he talks in texts. It is infuriating and it's amazing at the same time. A few moments pass, during which I wonder whether Abel will reply. Then... Hi, Eddie! Oh, he puts a little wavy hand emoji. I'm fine, thanks. Why do you want to know? You're not worried about me, are you? Oh my god, look at those stupid emojis. Guys! That's another Evahima character from another game. Hang on. It's the one with the Cthulhu. Hang on. Evahima Cthulhu game. Hang on. Oh my god, it's called Eldritch Idol. It's just a short silly thing, and it's got Cthulhu as a cute little girl that you get to talk to. Hang on. It's adorable. Short silly game about raising Cthulhu into a cute idol. It has 28 endings, some which are rather bad. Of course, because she's Cthulhu. Some which are cute and some which are silly. I love when she puts her other games' characters into the games. As like little Easter eggs. It's so fun. Just a bit. Though I am, in all honesty, more worried about myself. It is rather unusual that I should be thinking about Abel so much. Nobody has occupied my thoughts this extensively save Leafay, and that is to be expected. That's right, Shell. It's so cute. It's so cute seeing her little Easter eggs, and oh my god. Oh, she has so many games, it's crazy. She was my sister. Abel, however, is no relation to me. I should not crave his company so much, but... It's because you're gay, bro. You did look like rather distressed when we last spoke. Oh, you're really that worried about me? You're so sweet. I love how Abel talks like he has the title Discord kitten. You know? Love you. Oh my god. I can't help but worry, I'm an older brother. I suppose it is in my blood. But what is that image you sent me? This? Yes, that. You're not trying to confess to me, are you? What? Oh no. I use these stickers all the time because I think they're cute. Don't you think these are adorable? I do not have much of an aesthetic sense, but I suppose so. I'm not really the right person to ask, however. I think I need to do more research on what is considered popular nowadays. Oh, Ed. What? You're acting like this is going to be on a test or something. You're so funny. I am not trying to be. Believe me, I know. That makes it even better. But to answer your earlier question, I guess I was pretty distressed earlier. But the past is in the past, as a famous Ice Queen said. I've already let it go. And I'm just fine now. You know, he said, like a liar. Are you certain? As sure as I can be. You're not my mother, remember? Besides, what would you do if I was distraught? You're at Iris's. You're not planning to chivvy up my balcony like Romeo, are you? From the Shakespeare play? Yeah, that. I had studied in GCSE. God, it was a slog. You didn't like it? Not really. I can't stand all that theeing and thouing BS. And it didn't help that Mrs. Pembroke was boring as fuck. She caught me passing notes with Ollie in classes one time, actually. And then she made me read Juliet's lines out for the rest of the term. It was not the vibe. I imagine your classmates enjoyed that. Of course they did. They thought it was the epitome of hilarity. I had Josh and his lot shouting, "Wherefore art thou, Romeo?" at me in the cafeteria for months. Dicks. Oh, I am sorry to hear that. That's alright, it's not your fault. I'd rather take it up with Mrs. Pembroke. I think she's gave me PTSD, actually. You try being called a gay boy in a sissy or term and see how you like it. See? He's got issues, guys. He doesn't know that it's okay to be, like, femme and shit. I do not think I would like it very much. But sissy? Like girly? It's not a very original insult. I bet you have never been called that. I mean, you're about 8 foot tall. The last time I checked I was only 6'4". Only, he says. Christ on a bike, it's alright for some. Thought you wanted to cheer me up. I did. But it's not working. It made me feel even worse about myself. I apologize? It's alright, I'm only teasing. You do want to come over and climb a balcony like Romeo, though, I might welcome it. Sir, why are you putting the sweaty emoji in there for that one? Boy is not... The layers of issues this boy has. He's flirting actively and he doesn't even know that it, like... Oh my god. It's not like there's anything else going on. What have you been doing? Nothing much, just staring at the walls count? Surely you must have been doing something. Just watching random YouTube videos, I guess. Nothing special. Wait, I saw something pretty cute earlier. I think you might appreciate it. You like cats, right? Who doesn't? Thought you might say that. You're such a bleeding heart. Alright, look at this. I'm not a big animal person, but even I thought this was pretty adorbs. It's a baby! Oh, that is quite cute. I know, right? Though this one's good too. The night progresses like this with Abel and I exchanging messages about nothing in particular. Oh my god, they're dating and they don't even know it. The conversation is meandering, but it is quite enjoyable. So much so, I lose track of time. I do not realize quite how much of it has passed until I check the clock on my phone and see that it is well past midnight. How did that happen? I say my goodbyes to Abel and turn over in bed to charge my phone. I did not discuss anything in earth-shattering with him, but... Mundane though our conversation was, I cannot help but smile. Oh, he's so cute! I had a lot of fun. They're adorable. God damn. Next day. I might have had fun with Abel last night, but I have rather less fun when I woke up at 7 o'clock the following morning. I've only had 4 hours worth of sleep of that, and my head is aching. It takes me longer to shower and to dress than it usually does, and my reflection in the bathroom mirror looks weary. My under eye's almost as dark as Abel's. I feel like a zombie as I stumble down the stairs and wander about the kitchen. I manage to spill water down my front while filling the kettle, and I lose my focus while stirring the porridge on the stove, so it begins to burn. The smell of burning porridge alerts Iris from her crossword puzzle, and she looks over at me with a frown. Did you leave the porridge on too long, Edmund dear? It smells a bit charred. Oh! I jump, then hurriedly take the pot off the stove. That was a close call. The bottom of the porridge looks a bit charred, but I think it should be salvageable. I can just scrape the top off, which looks more or less edible, and cover up the lingering taste of charcoal with sugar. I hope that will be enough. I serve out the porridge, then the tea, and carry everything over to the table. Iris thanks me for my efforts, though she looks perturbed. Is she worried about me? My, you do look rather tired this morning though, Edmund dear. Did you have trouble sleeping last night? Not really. Once I got into bed, sleep came rather easily. I was just a bit distracted on the way there. With what? I was just talking to Abel a little bit, that's all. Abel, Iris is the grandma at Pride who's wearing the shirts that says, I'm your grandma now. You know, the one that says free hugs from a grandma. She's that woman at Pride, you know? That one old woman who's like there so that you feel like you have an altar that loves you. She's so cute. I love her. Iris chuckles, her earlier concerns vanishing. That's good to know. I'm glad it's not anything serious. Looks like you and Abel have become rather close. Seems like you're both quite stuck on one another. Unless I'm misreading the situation. He's just a friend. We didn't discuss anything in particular. Beyond how cute cats look, I suppose. And be that as it may, talking about him about nothing in particular was intriguing enough to keep you awake well into the early hours. His company is diverting, that's all. I'm sure it is. Iris chuckles again, then looks down at her paper. Well, whatever your relationship with Abel is, I'm glad you have him. You need a few friends your own age. All this isolation can't have been good for you. And oh, I think that's my 11 down. Isolation? But that only has 9 letters. Oh no, you misunderstand. That isn't my 11 down. But infatuation? That fits the bill perfectly. I glance away from Iris, my face uncomfortably hot. She's so funny, I love her. A retort is primed and ready on the tip of my tongue, but I keep it to myself. It would seem rather pointless given how assured Iris is of my feelings. And I have not done much to dissuade her from thinking otherwise. I did stay up until past 3 in the morning talking to him. And I think I brought this upon myself. You did, hon. You did very much so. Some time later. A couple of days pass, and a couple of weeks, during which little of note occurs. I continue to see Abel on a semi-regular basis when I visit the local corner shop, and the pair of us engage in idle chatter whenever our paths cross. We continue to text one another too, mostly during the evenings and the nights, though I take care not to indulge too much in this particular vice. It is too easy to let the hours pass watching the silly cat videos with Abel, or else discussing whether or not Leonardo DiCaprio can actually act. Abel seems to believe that he is little more than a pretty face, though I rather think his antipathy stems from his mother's long-standing obsession with the sad boat movie. Apparently she has seen it over 50 times, something which seems rather excessive. Speaking of excessive, I make a concentrated effort not to talk to Abel past midnight. We all need sleep to function, and I feel I need more of that than most, given my work is so physical. It is surprisingly difficult, as I have discovered, to mow a lawn on only 4 hours' worth of rest. I do find Abel's chatter enticing, though, which might be why I find myself inventing excuses to seek it out. Initially, I found Abel's rapid-fire style of talking exhausting, but I have grown used to it. Now I find it endearing. There is much to like about Abel, though I cannot say I care for how frequently he complains. He is complaining now, in fact, on this muggy Friday morning behind the counter at his parents' shop, picking at the hem of his shirt in an attempt to air himself out. Ah, jeez, it's been so frickin' warm lately. What gives anyway? We live in England, it's not supposed to get this hot around here. I thought this was supposed to be a miserable, gloomy little country where it always rains. Abel continues to fiddle with the hem of his shirt as he speaks, flapping it back and forth in what I can only presume it is an attempt to generate some cool air. He is fiddling with his shirt to such a degree, I am afforded an unimpeded view of quite a large portion of his stomach. Ooh! Ooh! You see his stomach? His little tum-tum? I am not immune to cute people's stomachs, I must lie. I won't lie. I see a hot woman with her stomach out and I go, oh, hi. I get it. Abel's stomach is rather flat and undefined. He does not possess much in the way of muscle. His physique is not particularly impressive, but it is rather appealing. He looks very lean. Hey Ed? Ed? Do you still read me? I take a step away from the counter, heat exploding across my face as I do. I had not realized I was staring. Well, that is embarrassing. Yes, I still read you. Did you just say something? Oh, only the same old, same old. It's not just hot around here, it's boring too. It's as dull as a frickin' ditch water. I need to cut loose and have some fun. I don't want to end up like those lunatics, the one who start bludgeoning stray cats and dogs to death for fun. That's so not my jam. Would you bludgeon stray cats and dogs to death for fun? No, duh. Abel rolls his eyes. I already told you that I wouldn't. That'd take like way too much energy, and anyways, I like animals, even if they don't like me. I was just speaking in hypotheticals. It's boredom like this that turns nice boys bad. There's a reason you hear about grisly murders happening in these closed-off communities, like in teeny tiny villages. Speaking of, not into true crime shit, are you, Eddie? I can hazard a guess, but what is true crime? You don't know? Abel raises an eyebrow. It's a pretty popular genre. There's a lot of true crime YouTubers and podcasters. People who talk about like actual murders and abductions and stuff. Some of it's interesting. I've learnt a whole shitload about creepy cults. Oh no, I cannot say I'm familiar with this particular style of entertainment. It all sounds a bit maudlin. That's fair. I watched so much of this shit I think I might have gotten myself paranoid for a while. A few months back I got so freaked I started like sweating when I heard even the smallest noise outside my bedroom window. Which sucks for me since this whole family of pigeons had made a nest beneath my windowsill back in my uni dorms. They used to make noises all around the clock. They woke me up some nights too. I got kind of panicky, so I stopped watching this true crime stuff after that. It was a trip, but it wasn't a very pleasant one. Speaking of, why don't we go on a trip, Eddie? Just me and you. It'll be fun. Where to? Well, there ain't that many places around here to go, and I wouldn't want to make you drive too far, so why don't we go to Rythorpe again? We can have a day on the beach this time since it's been so hot lately. Doesn't that sound like fun? I suppose it does not sound like a bad idea. I know, right? I'm a genius. We can relax on the sand and maybe go for a dip, and there's some cute kitschy art galleries by the seafront too that are always fun to look around. There's a bunch of cafes in that part of Rythorpe too, though they tend to be pretty expensive. The coffee there's never any good and it's way overpriced for what it is, but you don't really pay for the food. It's more like the experience of having seagulls flock around you while you're trying to eat, crapping on your shoes and making a racket. Rythorpe ain't the nicest place around. I think I had some money pumped into it once upon a time, but this would have been in like the 70s. But it's better than nothing. It should be better at least than hanging around here. Have you ever been to Rythorpe before, Ed? Like properly? I did go to the beach with you before, but that was at night. I did not get to see much of the surf or any of the sun. And you were drunk. Yeah. I can't say I recall too much of that myself, but it tracks. I doubt babysitting my sorry drunken ass helped you appreciate Rythorpe's seafront. Which is a bit of a shame. As rundown as a lot of Rythorpe is, the beach can be kind of nice, provided the tire's not all the way out yonder. Would you be down for it? We could go out tomorrow if you're game, since it'll be a Saturday and all. Should be a good change of pace if nothing else. I make a show of pondering Abel's proposition for a few moments. I would not want to seem too eager. But my hesitance is quite unnecessary. In actuality, I have no qualms whatsoever about going out with Abel. I would like to spend more time with him, not just in his parents' corner shop, but out and about. Going on a trip sounds like it would be a good way to get to know him a bit better. And so it is, after a few brief minutes I say, I think that sounds good. Thank you for inviting me. I spent that night sitting up in bed thinking about my plans with Abel. The last thing I said to him before we parted ways outside the shop was, I'll wait for you to text me the details then. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I think that this was an inoffensive milquetoast remark to end our meeting on, but it was also more truthful than perhaps Abel anticipated. I am looking forward to tomorrow. So much so I feel oddly anxious about it. Abel did not use these exact words, but I still wonder whether this would count as a date or not. We will be going out to the beach, just the two of us. A quick scouring of the internet tells me that if I were a woman, this would be the perfect setup for a romantic day out. But as I am not a woman, it seems more likely that this is what Abel said it was. An excursion between a couple of friends. I should not read into it too much. It is doubtful that Abel has any salacious intentions, and yet, embarrassing though it is to admit, part of me wishes that he did. I've always been rather comfortable in my own body, but as I lie in bed that night, I begin to wonder whether Abel would like me more if I was a woman. Oh, baby! No, he's just got, like, trauma from being called a sissy in high school. He'll get over it. With love and care. You guys can be friends and be happy together. What if I looked less like myself and more like Marnie? What would Abel think of Marnie anyway? Marnie is probably his type, what with her fair hair, her delicate features, and her interests in all things grim and gruesome. If I was more like that, perhaps our trip to the beach tomorrow would be more than a friendly get-together. Perhaps it really would be a date. As it is, however, it seems foolish to expect anything more. Abel might have kissed me the first time we went to Rythorpe's Beach, but he was drunk then. The kiss did not mean anything. I should not think about it so much, but ever since it happened, it has been difficult for me to dwell upon anything but. How am I supposed to get any sleep like this? I sigh. I'm unsure whether I can. Maybe I should try and text Marnie. That might help me pass the time. I reach my phone, then send her a text. Hello, Marnie. I apologize for the late text. I just want to ask you something. Are you still awake? A few minutes passed, during which I examined my phone, the screen bright and burning against my retinas. I'm unsure whether Marnie will reply. It is rather late, but to my relief. Hey, Ed. Yeah, I'm still awake. I mean, it's only like, what, 11 p.m? That's still early. Is it? Typically I go to sleep at around 10 p.m. Yeah, well, that's because you're an old man trapped in the body of a 20-something. You aren't a very good sample. Well, perhaps not, but you raise a good point. Oh, itchy nose. Oh. Oh. I know. You don't need to tell me that. So, what's up? Why are you texting me when you should be in bed? Did something happen? Well, I think back to the time I spent with Abel over the last few days. I think about his chest pressed against mine, my arms around his middle. He was sobbing so fitfully into my chest he left stains on my shirt. I did not mind the closeness, of course, but I did worry about him. I cannot help myself. I could tell Marnie about this, I suppose, but it feels too private. I don't want to air out Abel's secrets to her, not those which involved his older sister. I do, however, want some advice on my own affairs, which all involve Abel. I doubt that this will surprise you, but this is about Abel. You're right, lol. I'm not surprised. He's all you ever seem to want to talk about these days. He really must have made an impression. Well, he is one of the only people here I talk to. Minus Iris, of course. Of course. Poor you. I feel like you need to get out more. Out where? I don't know. Just out of Fiend Chapel in general. I love my grandma. But it can't be so much fun being trapped up in Fiend Chapel with her all the time. It must get depressing. Iris said much the same, though I do not agree. I have rather been enjoying my time in Fiend Chapel. Because of Abel? Well, he might have a part to play in it. Well, of course, lol. You're so transparent, Ed. So what's happening between you and your new BF? I'm not sure if he's my boyfriend per se. But he did ask me out on a date, I suppose. A date? Marnie's surprise is so palpable I can feel it through my phone. I can't see her face, but she's probably gawping. Is my news really that surprising? OMG. Ed? Yes? This is like a big deal. I wasn't really sure about your relationship with Abel, but I think this cinches it. He really must like you. Well, I'm aware that he likes me, but I think he was being facetious when he called it a date. He just asked me out to Rythorpe. There's nothing particularly romantic about it. Even if he did kiss me. Yeah. It's hard to do anything romantic when you're stuck in Fiend Chapel, lol. It's not really a place where you can go out for hot dates. But Rythorpe isn't so bad. Do you really think so? Well, no. It's pretty shitty too, lol. But I went to Rythorpe with Lizzie once. It was pretty fun. Going to the beach is a staple of every anime, you know. It's a classic date spot. Second only to going to the aquarium. And above going to the zoo. Well, maybe theme parks beat it out too. But I can't imagine you going to a theme park, Ed. I think you'd freak out. The rides would destroy you. They would. I cannot say I have much interest in going to a theme park either. And what is this about anime? Never mind. You're too much of a normie for this. Just trust me on this, Ed. I think this is a good sign. You went out to that gig with Abel, and now he wants to invite you out to the beach. The beach! This has got to be setting up some big romance arc. There's no way it's not. Well, I appreciate your optimism, but somehow that makes me feel even more anxious. Oh? Are you getting nervous, Ed? A little. I've never been on a date before. I'm not sure about the etiquette. What am I supposed to wear? What do those skulls mean? It means you're funny. Funny? Yeah. I'm not used to seeing you getting so pressed. You must like Abel a lot. If you're getting this worked up. It's kind of precious. I never would have known you had it in you. To be such a moe blob. I have no idea what a moe blob is, but I doubt it is anything positive. It feels like Marnie is trying to make fun of me again. I'm not sure if talking to her about this was the wisest of ideas. I feel more flustered than ever before. I exchanged a few messages with Marnie, mostly about my upcoming date, if indeed it can be called that, but it does little to soothe my nerves. I feel too anxious. Perhaps Marnie is right. I really must like Abel. I've not known him for all that long, but I've become embarrassingly attached. Could I really be falling for him? With that, I think we'll end here, guys. I know, just as the beach date is starting, but we have gone on for quite a while tonight. We got a lot done, even though we got hampered by a stream crash in the middle. I will try and get this VOD edited together, uploaded soon. Thank you for welcoming me back to streaming from my very impromptu hiatus. Thank you for the Hydra endeavor. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten about Hine's treat either. Thank you for welcoming me back to streaming after my very unwanted hiatus. I enjoyed it a lot. Hang on, let me check schedule, because we do have another stream this week, guys. There is a second one. A second stream will be hitting. On... if the image will load. Discord, come on. On Thursday, we have a stream at 1 AM EST. Again, fighting the... I'd assumed that we would still be under construction issues, but it seems like we're almost at the end of it. But I won't be moving that because I just want to not confuse people too much. We will be continuing Secret Little Haven, which was the game we started during the subathon, about the cute little trans girl in the Magical Girl Forum. Yeah, I do think construction is going to end soon because they said, oh, we're almost finished to Mum, and they basically tried to upsell some future projects to her, so they were like, we're almost done, we need to make more money off of her, sort of vibes. But thank you all for coming to the impromptu stream. Very, very different time than I would usually stream, and so I appreciate you guys showing up. I'm really excited for these boys' beach date. I know that Abel is going to be walking around in his board shorts at the beach, and Edmund is going to lose his mind. Abel might be staring at Edmund a bit too, and Edmund will be very confused about the looks. I think Abel will have to try and rescue Edmund from some beach girlies, like he had to do at the club. At the pub, rather. He had to rescue him from a very pushy girl. I think it will happen again, and it will be like very gay and cute. And I think it'll be nice. I think it'll be very fun. I think it'll be a very cute date, and hopefully Abel breaks out of his heterosexual bubble that he thinks he has to stay in, and figures out who he is and what he wants in life. I'm hopeful for him. I think he can do it. Let's see if anyone's live. God, we should rate someone if there's someone here. Let me just... Anyone I know? Anyone I know at all? Anyone at all? No one I know. Okay. Let's see. God, what? Any recommendations, guys? Frist? Let me see. Go Frist. Is Frist their whole name? Kiwi Trash Panda. Ah, that's more helpful. Thank you. Oh, they're playing Peak, the popular game going on right now. Oh, she's doing a subathon thingy. That's cool. Yeah, let's go support her, guys. She's cute. She has little... Is she... Oh, she's a panda, duh. Panda ears. Duh. Anyway. Let's go get her. Oh, yeah, she's playing Peak, the current big game of the moment. And she's adorable. She do got the boobies, if that's something that appeals to you guys. Thank you for joining me all today, gang. See you again soon. Bye bye.